Bears found him on the wrong side of one of the most dominant performances on the mound in college baseball as Oregon State starter Dax Whitney last night threw 17 strikeouts in 7 innings as the Bears topped Baylor 3-1 last night. But now is another chance for the Bears as they take on Purdue in Game 2 of the Round Rock Classic at Dell Diamond. And you can catch all that action right here on the Baylor Lariat Radio. Hi, everyone, and I hope y'all are doing well. I'm Jeffrey Cohen. Here alongside me again is Aidan O'Connor. And Aidan, last night, close one for the Bears and as well for Purdue, but they both ended up submitting to the same fate on Friday night.
Yeah, tough games for Purdue and for Baylor. Purdue having a great comeback, being down 4-1, and then at the top of the 8th versus Southern Miss, tying the game up, and then for them, a sad ending, have Southern Miss having a walk-off single in the 9th to win. And for Baylor, a game that was really tough for them, facing one of the greatest pitchers in the country in Dax Whitney, finally tied the game up 1-0 in the bottom of the 8th, and then at the top of the 9th, Oregon State just ran away with it and ultimately won 3-1. And both of those teams just having really tough defeats last night, hoping to bounce back today and to not be 0-2 to start this tournament. And talking about both these teams' hittings, so yesterday you had for Purdue, and kind of been the story all season for them, they're great at getting hits, but the problem for them is getting runs in and RBIs. And also on their lineup today, which will be very pivotal, is you have several spots where you have key guys like Eli Anderson and Weston Boyle that can get hits, 333 average, 500 average. But then you have people like Jackson Bissett and Brandon Rogers who haven't even gotten a hit all year yet. And so for the Purdue lineup today, just having the consistency throughout the lineup and being able to actually get those runs in from those hits will be very pivotal for them. And for Baylor, a team that has had an average over 300 this season, only had 3 hits total yesterday, with 2 coming from Pearson Reebok and 1 coming from Travis Sanders. And so today, for Baylor, you're wanting to reestablish that hitting prowess you've had all season, as we talked about yesterday, sort of the aggressiveness and speed that Mitch Thompson talked about.
Yeah, and I think it was a big wake-up call for the Bears, who've kind of been coasting the first 4 games of the season on offense. They've just been dominant. They've had incredible performances all around the board throughout that lineup. But yesterday, they ran into a brick wall, and that brick wall was Dax Whitney, who just pieced them up for 7 straight innings. So now, a lot of these young guys, especially guys like Hunter Snow and Brady Janusek last night, now they got a taste of what college baseball can really be. It's not just playing against New Mexico State or against Texas State. It's playing against some guys that are bound for the major leagues in a very short time. And I think it was a rude awakening for them, but I think today it's going to be a little bit easier. Purdue, not quite the same level as Oregon State. So I think the Bears offense can really bounce back. But we'll step aside just for a few moments as we step aside for the national anthem. This is Baylor Baseball on the Baylor Lariat Radio.
Stay informed and stay connected with Lariat TV News. Tune in to LTVN every Friday, your go-to source for everything happening on campus and around Waco. From breaking stories to exclusive interviews, we cover campus events, student life, sports updates, and more. By the students, for the students. Catch our latest broadcast every Friday afternoon on YouTube by searching Baylor Lariat TV News. Hey Bears! Are you a freshman or senior? Freshman and senior portraits are now being scheduled. Watch your Baylor email for more information on how to reserve your sitting.
Just a few minutes away from first pitch on this Saturday afternoon in Round Rock, Texas. It's the Round Rock Classic at Dell Diamond, as Baylor starting off the afternoon with a 1 p.m. first pitch against the Purdue Boilermakers. Both teams falling last night, only in the late innings, going the distance. The Bears went the distance with Oregon State. Purdue going all 9 innings toe for toe with number 18 Southern Miss. But now the two teams meet in the middle of the weekend. And for those just tuning in, I'm Jeffrey Cohen here alongside me, Aidan O'Connor. And Aidan, we've got kind of two different stories on the mounds today. So for the Bears, you got Ethan Calder, a guy who's proved himself as a starter last season, made all 15 starts for the Bears, primarily was on Friday nights. And then for the Boilermakers, you've got Zach Erdman, who hasn't really had all that much experience starting games, made 28 appearances and 7 starts over the last 3 years at Texas Tech. And so now he's being put into the Saturday starting spot for the Boilermakers today.
Yeah, a completely different story as you were talking about. Both of them have been in college for a while now, but Ethan Calder last year having 73 innings pitched, just a lot more experience, especially in terms of starting, as you mentioned. And then Zach Erdman, you know, last year, it seemed that each year he was at Texas Tech, he got less and less pitching time. 14 innings pitched in his first year, 33 in second, and 14 in his third. And he starts out this year with being the only pitcher in the nation during opening weekend to have 8 innings pitched and didn't allow any runs, but that was versus Portland. And so today will be kind of his test that maybe it was a change of scenery that he needed from Texas Tech to Purdue, and he can prove himself as a starter today. But for Ethan Calder, we know who he is and we know what he is capable of. Today the real test is for Erdman, and if he can continue to make the Baylor offense struggle as they did yesterday, or is he the pitcher that Baylor bounces back off of?
And speaking about that Baylor lineup going up against Zach Erdman, let's go into our lineups for today. So we're going to start with the technically visiting team today, Baylor Bear lineup.
So for the Bears, at the number 1 spot, you have Travis Sanders at shortstop. Number 2, Pearson Reebok at second base. Number 3, Tice Armstrong at first base. Number 4, Brady Janusek at right field. Number 5, Ty Johnson at center field. 6, Braden Buchanan at catcher. Third base, Brighton Clements. And number 8, Caleb Bergman at left field. And last in the lineup, at number 9, Bo Caraway at DH.
And then the defense for the technically home team in this ball game, Purdue. Behind the dish will be Jackson Bissett. At first base, C.J. Richmond, and then at second, Dylan Drake. Shortstop, Weston Boyle. And third base, the hot corner, Sam Flores, transfer from Kansas State. And then in the outfield from left to right, it'll be Eli Anderson, Brandon Rogers, and Trey Swiderski. And then Aidan, how about, let's flip over the inning and let's go to that Purdue lineup.
For that Purdue lineup at the number 1 spot, we have Eli Anderson, the center fielder, as you mentioned. Number 2, Weston Boyle at shortstop. Number 3, Sam Flores at third base. Number 4, C.J. Richmond at first base. Number 5, Jackson Bissett at catcher. Number 6, Dylan Drake at second base. Number 7, Trey Swiderski at right field. Number 8, Zach Zakowski at DH. And number 9, Brandon Rogers at center field.
And so the defense for the Bears, Braden Buchanan gets the nod behind the plate at catcher. He'll be starting. Tice Armstrong at first. Pearson Reebok and Travis Sanders continuing to be that consistent middle infield duo. Brighton Clements gets the nod at third base after Cade Dodson started last night. In left field, Caleb Bergman playing in his second game this season. Ty Johnson in center field, and then Brady Janusek back in right field. As we said, Ethan Calder, the starter for the Bears. He threw 3 2/3 innings against New Mexico State. Didn't give up a run, only gave up 1 hit and struck out 5. But here come the Purdue Boilermakers defense. Zach Erdman, starting pitcher, as Aidan had said, the only pitcher over the opening weekend to go 8 innings. Gave up no runs on 3 hits, struck out 7 against Portland last Saturday. And Aidan, for the Bears, what's one guy that we should be looking out for in today's game?
I think really it's Pearson Reebok, because yesterday versus an Oregon State team and a pitcher like Dax Whitney, he really went off and was the primary offense for Baylor, having those 2 hits and getting a stolen base as well. So I think today, just watch out for Pearson Reebok at the top of that lineup and see if he can continue his success into today versus Zach Erdman.
And then for the Boilermakers, how are they going to counteract this Baylor team? A team that's been dynamic on offense all season, and we saw pitching dominate last night.
I think just taking advantage, as we saw yesterday at Oregon State, they are aggressive early, and I think taking advantage of that and maybe trying to, Zach Erdman, kind of confusing them with his pitches and taking advantage of that aggressiveness to where it makes them step back, makes them be conservative like they were in Oregon State in the later innings. I think that'll be very pivotal for this Purdue team, because as we saw and as I was saying yesterday, Baylor very aggressive with that first pitch and every at-bat in the first couple innings, and towards the later innings, really not swinging at anything at the beginning of their at-bats.
So Erdman, the lefty. Bears didn't have to face a lefty last night as Dax Whitney ate up 7 of those 9 innings. He was followed up by Noah Scott, Isaac Yeager, and Albert Robles. That was for the Beavers last night. So now the Bears looking to get their first win at Round Rock. They're wearing their green jerseys on top, away gray pants, the green caps with the gold bills. And for Purdue, they're wearing their home whites, the black cap and that gold P right across the forehead. Erdman steps off the rubber before he throws a pitch. Looks like we have some confusion. Stepped off a second time, but now it looks like we're ready to play some baseball. Erdman deals. First pitch misses away, ball 1.
If you remember last night, Travis Sanders, outside of Pearson Reebok, the only Baylor player to get a hit and almost scored the leading run.
This time a fastball called a strike.
Almost scored on catcher interference, but was called back to third base and ultimately couldn't get home for the rest of the inning.
This one fouled straight back. So 1 ball, 2 strikes to Sanders. Went 1 for 4 last night with an RBI double. Struck out 3 times as well. Uncharacteristic of Sanders, who came into last night hitting over 500, as he'll stare at that pitch in the dirt.
Yeah, last night was just uncharacteristic for the entire Baylor team, and like we were talking about in the pregame, this is the moment for them to right the ship and bounce back in this Round Rock Classic.
Pitch, swing and a miss. Whiffs over the breaking ball, and that's the first out of this ball game.
That's a great start to this game for Zach Erdman, just getting in, having this calm and composed tone to him right now, getting his first strikeout and just easing into this game versus the best team that he's faced this season in terms of pitching.
So now it'll be Pearson Reebok. The biggest thorn in Whitney's side last night, a pair of singles against the Beavers aces. That first pitch misses low and away for ball 1.
Yeah, Reebok was the only player that really seemed to frustrate Whitney last night out of the whole Baylor team.
Takes a big swing and can't find contact. 1 ball, 1 strike. Now to Reebok. That one low. That's ball 2. got a windy day today. You see the flags out in center field pointing towards the right field corner. The 2-1 just below the knees, doesn't get a call. So it's a hitter's count, 3-1 to Reebok. Strong winds right around 20 miles an hour here in Round Rock. That one misses low.
That's really going to have to be a factor that both of these pitchers consider today, because really this is a night and day difference from the weather that we had last night.
Yeah, it was a beautiful night last night. Not a whole lot of wind going on, and there it is. It is ball 4. I was so confused on what was going on because it was a 3-1 count before that last pitch, and it seemed like no one was moving until Tice Armstrong started to walk towards home plate. And
now Purdue is walking out to talk to the umpire, and there seems to be a lot of confusion at the start of this game as you mentioned at the beginning, Zach Erdman having to step off the mound twice.
yeah, so Purdue head coach Greg Goff talking to the home plate umpire Michael Morris. Goff in his 7th year as the head coach of the Boilermakers, 9th year at Purdue. Has a 142 and 132 record in West Lafayette. So Pearson Reebok does get aboard via a walk after some more early game confusion. Throw back to first. Reebok gets in standing up. This fastball misses up and away. 2 balls, no strikes.
Tice Armstrong, one of the other key players in this Baylor lineup that we're looking to see a bounce back for today, not having any hits yesterday after such a hot start in those first 4 games of this year.
This fastball finds the zone for a strike. That one misses inside. Two and 1 count. 1 out, runner on first. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Couldn't get a contact on the changeup. So the count's set up at 2 with 1 out.
That seems to be where Erdman is getting these Baylor players, that lower right of the strike zone, just getting them to swing and miss.
Another throw back to first, but Reebok's not too far off, right? That second time that Erdman's thrown over to first and Reebok gets in standing up. Did steal a base yesterday. Pitch. Ground ball, and it'll go to the Purdue dugout down the third baseline.
And what's funny about yesterday, and as you can see today, Reebok only had 1 stolen base last year, but it already seems that after yesterday's game that pitchers are already kind of worried whether he's going to steal the base or not, and he's creating a threat out there.
There he goes. Running. Swing and a miss from Armstrong, and that ball gets by the second baseman, Dylan Drake, into shallow center field, but that'll be another stolen base for Pearson Reebok.
And that's what Baylor needs, that aggressiveness that Mitch Thompson was talking about at the beginning of the year. You know, especially on the base pass and stealing bases. This is pivotal for this team. Now you've got Pearson Reebok in scoring position in this first inning.
Reebok was 6 for 8 on stolen bases last year. That one called a strike. That's Brady Janusek. This one misses outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Tice Armstrong had swung at strike 3. That was on the Pearson Reebok stolen base attempt. Now runner in scoring position, 2 outs. Janusek foul tip caught by Bissett.
Yeah, it looked like if Janusek got his bat on that one was going yard and really aggressive on that pitch.
Janusek last night had a really good chance to open up the game for Baylor, but left the bases loaded. That one just misses. Yeah, bases loaded in the bottom of the 8th inning, but he flew out to center field. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Skipped in the dirt, blocked by Bissett.
And Janusek, these are just some of the learning moments like yesterday, bases loaded and not being able to bring it home, but still so much promise in his young career.
So full count, 2 outs, runner on second. Here's a payoff pitch. This one fouled straight back to the netting. Janusek trying to stay alive, trying to drive in his teammate Reebok from second. Last night broke the streak of the Bears. 3 games in a row of scoring at least a run in the first inning. This one a ground ball, and it gets past the diving reach of Richmond. Rounding third is Reebok. The throw is not in time. It's an RBI single for Brady Janusek, and the Bears are on the board early.
And as you just said, their streak was broken yesterday in scoring in the first inning, and today they start that streak again with a great single by Brady Janusek.
And a great piece of hitting, sending an outside pitch the opposite way, just past the diving reach of CJ Richmond. That's all he really needed to do. You just had to find the outfield and give your teammate Pearson Reebok enough time to round third and head home. And wasn't a great throw by Trey Swiderski in right field. That ball skipped a couple times before getting to the plate, as the first pitch to Ty Johnson is low and away for ball 1.
And already showing improvement today for Baylor, because as we saw yesterday, a lot of those moments where they had a runner in scoring position and 2 outs just couldn't pull it out and would immediately get that 3rd out, but today being able to bring it home.
Finds that low and outside corner with the fastball. Ty Johnson last night 0 for 4. Struck out once. There goes Janusek, a high chopper to second base, fielded by Drake. His throw just beats Johnson, and that'll retire the side, but the Bears on the board early. An RBI single from Brady Janusek gives the Bears a 1-0 lead as we are through the first half of the first inning here at Dell Diamond. This is Baylor Baseball on the Baylor Lariat Radio.
Hey Bears, are you always the last to know about what's happening at Baylor? Are you left quiet in a group when talking about last week's game? Well, you haven't gotten your morning buzz yet. Did you know you can get your dose of current Baylor news every Tuesday through Friday straight to your inbox? The Baylor Lariat Morning Buzz e-newsletter provides you with breaking Baylor stories, local events, and in-depth sports coverage daily. You can be in the know on all things Baylor. If you aren't already buzzing, go to BaylorLariat.com. That's BaylorLariat.com. And click the subscribe now to get your morning buzz from the Baylor Lariat. News for the students, by the students. We'll see you in your inbox.
On the mound for the Bears, lefty Ethan Calder, making his second appearance of the season after going 3 2/3 against New Mexico State just a week ago. His first pitch, a fastball called a strike.
Now Eli Anderson looking to try to extend his 17-game hitting streak dating back to last year.
As he lifts this one foul. Yeah, I think, and that's the key for both teams. I know Baylor's done that extremely well, is getting hits early, getting guys on base. And for Purdue, you want to get guys on base. But I think for them, it even goes further. You got to drive those guys in. And they've really struggled at that through the early season. This one upstairs for ball one.
I think the key will be having to pitch, at least at the top of this Purdue lineup, maybe not later, is pitching like Stahl did yesterday. Trying to get that weak contact. As you know, this top of this Purdue lineup can really hit the ball, as one is sent foul there.
So 1 ball, 2 strikes to Eli Anderson. Lefty on lefty to start this ball game. Anderson hits one high into straightaway left field. Backing up is Bergman, and he drops the ball. Lost it in the sun. And it's a stand-up double for Eli Anderson, extending that hit streak now to 17 games.
Now extending that hitting streak past that 17-game mark, now to 18.
Yeah.
And you could clearly see there Bergman, the glint off of his glasses and the sun just right in his eyes there.
So now Weston Boyle, 1-0 count. Throw back over to second, not in time. Almost got Eli Anderson.
Ethan Calder did well in his lone appearance this year versus New Mexico State, pitching 3.2 innings and only allowing 1 hit.
Heading for a third, Anderson. And he's nailed at third. A great throw by Braden Buchanan. And not the best pitch to run on. That was a high fastball from Ethan Calder, and they were all over that stolen base attempt.
That was one of the questions today. Can Buchanan provide that same type of stability at catcher like Kennett does? And clearly they're having that same type of ability to throw people out.
Now there's 1 out, and the bases are empty. The 2-0 pitch. This one lifted high and foul down the right field line. Calder kicks and deals, misses low, 89-mile-an-hour fastball. And that's kind of just a consistent thing for a good amount of these Baylor pitchers. Not going to dominate you with their speed, but are very good at creating some weak contact. The 2-1, another ball hit high and foul.
There's definitely not going to be any 99-mile-an-hour fastballs like we saw yesterday from Dax Whitney. But like you said, that was the success that Baylor had yesterday with Stahl, is getting those weak contact hits. And as we've been seeing today.
And that one, a called third strike. Weston Boyle thought he had ball 4, but he'll have to walk back to his dugout.
And as we've been seeing today, they've been also getting that weak contact on these foul balls. And, you know, if the sun had not gotten in Bergman's eyes, that would have been an easy out as well.
And while the Baylor pitching doesn't beat you with their speed, they beat you with their selection. I know Mitch Thompson said before the New Mexico State series how much they harp on being strike throwers, as this one is popped up behind first base. Armstrong in foul territory. He's got some room, and he makes the catch for out number 3. Retires Sam Flores as Purdue comes up empty-handed despite the leadoff double from Eli Anderson, extending his hit streak to 18. But Baylor holding on to a 1-0 lead as we head to the second inning. This is Baylor Baseball on the Baylor Lariat Radio.
Hey there, Bears. Are you living your best life this year at Baylor? Well, we've got great news. The Baylor Roundup Yearbook has been right there with you, capturing those memories at every event. So don't forget to buy your 2022-23 Baylor Roundup Yearbook today and share your memories with friends and family for generations to come. But wait, did you already graduate? Don't worry, we've got you covered. We have yearbooks dating all the way back to 1896. So visit our website today at www.baylor.edu/roundup and order your copy. That's www.baylor.edu/ROUNDUP. Have a great year, Bears, and sick 'em.
Six, 7, 8 due up for the Bears. Braden Buchanan, Brighton Clements, and Caleb Bergman, all 3 guys who did not start last night, getting the nod on this Saturday afternoon ball game. As this one turned on and lined into center field by Braden Buchanan.
That was great contact by Braden Buchanan, really leading off this inning well after kind of struggling in his last couple of at-bats, hitting 143.
But Braden Buchanan not wasting any time, turning on that first pitch for a solid line drive single. Last night, he was 0 for 1 with a strikeout in the bottom of the 9th inning after coming in for the injured J.J. Kennett and the pinch runner Bo Caraway. Throw back to first, and Buchanan slides back in safely. And Buchanan not the biggest base stealing threat that the Bears have. The first pitch to Clements shows bunt, and it's fouled back. We saw both the Bears and Oregon State trying to go to that bunt a couple times last night, and we only saw Nyan Hayes convert. Really nobody else was able to lay down a good bunt, and the Bears trying to go back to that small ball. The 0-1 pitch, another bunt. This one, it's a good one. It'll be a close play at first, but Clements just gets beat by a step or two, and that'll be out number 1.
Yeah, yesterday just not having a lot of consistency in terms of the results for the bunts, not getting a lot of positive stuff from that. And He's getting a lot of outs, or also, I mean, the really positive that the bunts had yesterday was showing and then pulling back to get the pitchers to throw a little bit more outside and throw a ball. But there worked pretty well for Baylor and now have a runner in scoring position with only one out.
So it did advance Braden Buchanan to second base for Caleb Bergman. First pitch called a strike at the knees with the breaking ball. Caleb Bergman, brother of one of last night's relievers, Braden Bergman. Who went 2/3 of an inning. This one fouled back.
Only having one hit so far this year in his lone at bat as well.
And his brother Braden gave up no runs on 2 hits and also got himself a strikeout.
After not having a lot of playing time, Bergman did a really nice job yesterday versus Oregon State's offense.
So after some deliberation between him and his catcher, Erdman gets set. Here's the pitch. Skips in and blocked by Bassett. And that's a 1-ball, 2-strike count. .67 degrees here in Round Rock. 1:26 p.m. The 1-2. This one popped up into shallow right field. Coming on to make the catch is Swiderski, and he'll make the grab for out number 2.
What you can really see, especially with the two Bergman brothers, is Mitch Thompson trusting these players that haven't gotten a lot of playing time and putting them out there in a tournament like this versus opponents that are better than New Mexico State, better than Texas State, really putting them out into the fire and trying to let them see competition like this and improve.
This one fouled off the end of the bat of Bo Caraway. Pinch ran last night.
Bo Caraway, one of many of the freshman outfielders for Baylor this year, a really bright bunch of players.
It came in for J.J. Kennett. Throwback over to second, and that was a little off target, but Weston Boyle in position to make it. So Buchanan back safely. No balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. Buchanan, the lone runner on base. He stands at second. The pitch. Slow chopper right past Erdman. It's going to be a tough play for Drake, and it will not be in time. Good speed from Bo Caraway. And he's aboard and advances Buchanan over to third.
And that was exactly why he was brought in last night to pinch run, as his speed is unbelievable, Jeffrey.
Yeah, and I mean, he's been showing it off. He loves to run, and one of those extremely athletic freshmen that this coaching staff has praised all offseason. Well, he hasn't had as consistent playing time as guys like Brady Janusek. He's really been making the most of his appearances. First pitch called a strike to Travis Sanders. Caraway got his first start on Tuesday against Texas State and then had himself 2 RBIs. He was really excited just to get going, help his team out, and have a great collegiate debut. Fastball misses high. 1 ball, 1 strike to Sanders. 2 outs, runners on the corners.
Interesting to see what Sanders does here. Is he going to try to stay aggressive like he was at the beginning of this ball game, or be more conservative with 2 outs already for Baylor?
Little jammed up, fouls 1 straight back. I wouldn't be surprised to see Bo Caraway running very soon on any of these next couple pitches.
I mean, definitely. You've seen, I mean, a lot of base runners today for Baylor have been threats to Zach Erdman, and he's been having to throw back to first to second a bunch of times. And as you can see, Baylor base runner from third already trying to stunt.
This one foul tip, and it was more of like a quarter swing from Travis Sanders, and it went just behind the plate. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Braden Buchanan trying to make it look like he was going to steal home there. I don't know if that's as convincing as trying to convince him that you're stealing from first to second, but he tried.
Just trying to make some noise on the base paths. Here's the pitch from Erdman. Called third strike, and Sanders not a big fan of that call, but that'll strand the runners on the corners and keep it at a 1-run ball game as we head to the bottom of the second. You're listening to Baylor Baseball on the Baylor Lariat Radio.
Hey Bears! Are you a freshman or senior? Freshman and senior portraits are now being scheduled. Watch your Baylor email for more information on how to reserve your sitting. Stay informed and stay connected with Lariat TV News. Tune in to LTVN every Friday, your go-to source for everything happening on campus and around Waco. From breaking stories to exclusive interviews, we cover campus events, student life, sports updates, and more. By the students, for the students. Catch our latest broadcast every Friday afternoon on YouTube by searching Baylor Lariat TV News.
It's the heart of the order for the Purdue Boilermakers after Ethan Calder only had to face the first 3 batters in the first inning. Eli Anderson led things off with a double, got caught stealing third, and Weston Boyle struck out looking, and then a pop-up to end the inning. C.J. Richmond stares at ball 1 up and inside.
C.J. Richmond, one of the few returning players from last year's Purdue roster with a large amount of transfers, about 18.
He played in 53 games, making 31 starts last year in his 5th season of college baseball. He has started in all 5 games coming into today as he swings out way too early on that pitch. Calder slowed him down with a 78-mile-an-hour breaking ball. And Richmond's really been tearing it up so far. He's had a hit in all 5 games and 3 multi-hit games as well, as that ball misses low and away. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
And one of those multi-hit games being last night's game versus Southern Miss, and really shows that it doesn't matter the competition, he can get contact with the ball.
Swing and a miss. Still out ahead on that pitch, and he goes down on strikes. That's Ethan Calder's 2nd K of the afternoon.
And Ethan Calder, as we've talked about, Baylor being so good at getting these weak contact hits, but Ethan Calder can strike people out too. Last year, opening day versus Youngstown State, had 13 strikeouts.
Yeah, and that's what Mitch Thompson and Sean Snedeker want from their guys. They want strike throwers. The first pitch to Bissett is lifted and twists foul. Mitch Thompson said before the New Mexico State series, he said, we're not going to recruit a guy that's not already a strike thrower. So that already tells you where their head is at when it comes to finding talent in the transfer portal or in high school. This one a ground ball down the third base line, and it goes just foul.
Bissett looking for his first hit of the season so far, not having a hit in last night or any of the previous games.
And he's just one of the couple guys that have so far been a hole in this lineup, as well as Brandon Rogers, the 9-hole hitter, hasn't had a hit so far. Here's the 0-2, up and inside, no call, so 1-2. 1 out, bases empty. Yeah, along with Rogers and Bissett not getting a hit, Trey Swiderski coming in today with a 143 average. This one a swing and a miss. Oh, and it's called a foul tip that hit the plate, so Bissett stays alive just by a fraction of an inch.
And that's the big thing for Purdue today. 1 through 4 for them. Every player having a batting average over 300, and then 5 through 9 having 2 players that haven't even gotten a hit this year and 1 player with a 143 average. So that just that back half of the lineup has really had a tough year so far for Purdue.
Yeah, Bissett got jammed up on that last pitch, able to foul it off. See some families out on the grass past the outfield walls. Here's the 1-2. Misses low, and the count's all tied up.
And many of those families hoping yesterday to receive a home run ball from Hunter Snow, but robbed.
Yeah. That was an unbelievable play by Easton Tall, who also had the game-winning RBI. This one, another foul ball down the first base side.
And as we were watching Mitch Thompson's postgame, he was talking about how Tall has done that 2 years in a row. So Baylor has been robbed 2 years in a row from Oregon State in terms of getting home runs.
Yeah, Easton Tall. Guess he's not the biggest fan of Baylor. I don't know, but you don't always see guys rob a home run every day, and now he's done it against the same team 2 years in a row. The 2-2 pitch to Bissett. Upstairs, check swing. First base umpire Mark Wagers said no swing. The count is full, 1 out, nobody on. Fouls another one off, so trying to stay alive. He's worked himself into a full count thanks to the help of a couple of foul balls.
And this is one of the issues yesterday for Baylor is getting in these elongated at-bats and pitch counts going upwards of 10 to 15 pitches and just really needing to get out of these.
The payoff pitch from Calder just misses outside, and Calder was yelling at himself, had his glove over his face. Not happy with that last pitch as Jackson Bissett works his way down in the count to a full count and gets a free 90. That brings up the lefty Dylan Drake. Throw back to first. Close play, but not in time. Bissett in safely.
Yeah, Ethan Calder has been close twice so far, picking off Purdue runners at first base.
Drake went 2 for 3 last night, did score a run, and walked as well. So he hits one high down the left field line. Bergman gives it a look, but he runs out of room quickly.
This Purdue team has really tried to mix up where Dylan Drake has been batting in this lineup as he's been switched around 4 times this year.
The fourth lefty that Calder's faces. He gets that one called for a strike at 88 miles an hour. No balls, 2 strikes, 1 out, and a runner on first. The Bears lead 1-0 here in the bottom of the second. Check swing, and he went around. That's a strike 3 called. And that's K number 3 for Ethan Calder.
Good job for Calder not letting that count get too far like the one previously. Just getting those 3 strikes and moving on and really not letting that walk affect him.
And so far, Ethan Calder's been very effective with the strikeouts. Had 5 Ks last week against New Mexico State as another pickoff attempt over to first, not in time. And now he's racked up 3 more today.
As we talked about, Trey Swiderski hitting 143 and having some trouble this year, but last night getting 1 hit and 1 RBI.
As that slider just drops out of the path of that bat. Swing and a miss, 0-1. This pitch, a ground ball, and it'll go foul.
A second time in a row for Calder, getting these at-bats to a quick 0-2, and just really trying to do like last at-bat and getting it out quickly. As he tries to pick off first base again, but to no avail.
This one upstairs, 1 ball, 2 strikes now. Swiderski last night went 1 for 2, hit a solo home run against Southern Miss. Or the Boilermakers 5-4 loss. Fastball misses high, and the count's tied up at 2. 2 outs, runner on first.
And that's the type of performance you need, even though that was his lone hit in the game. If you're having a down season like Swiderski is, to get a home run, to get a run in, is so important for a player's morale.
Another throw back to first. Bissett getting back in time. 0 for 1 on stolen base attempts this season. That one misses, so Ethan Calder, for a second straight batter, had the advantage in the count, and he's lost it. And has sent it to a full count now with 2 outs. And there goes the runner, in a blooper into center field, and it's down. Heading for third is Bissett, and he will get in with no contest. So now runners on the corners with 2 outs after the single from Trey Swiderski.
That was a great hit by Swiderski, right in between Sanders and Ty Johnson.
And the hit and run works to perfection for the Boilermakers now with the tying run 90 feet away. Trying to send this game back to even after giving up a run in the top frame of this ball game. Throw back to first. Not in time, and good job by Tice Armstrong, able to reach out for that ball. And after he applied the tag, keeping a close eye on Bissett at third, make sure he doesn't make a break for home. Here's the pitch. This one fouled right to the Baylor dugout on the first base side.
Yeah, that was a missed opportunity by Calder. If he just thrown it a little bit more towards Tice Armstrong, that would have been an easy tag for Baylor.
That's Zach Sikowski hitting 500. Another throw over to first. This is Zykowski's first start of the season. He's played in 4 games leading into today. as this one hit high into right field. Janusek not having to run too far, and he'll make the catch. And there will be runners stranded on the corners for a second straight frame here in this ball game. As we head to the third, Bears lead 1-0. This is Baylor Baseball on the Baylor Lariat Radio.
Hey there, Bears. Are you living your best life this year at Baylor? Well, we've got great news. The Baylor Roundup Yearbook has been right there with you, capturing those memories at every event. So don't forget to buy your 2022-23 Baylor Roundup Yearbook today and share your memories with friends and family for generations to come. But wait, did you already graduate? Don't worry, we've got you covered. We have yearbooks dating all the way back to 1896. So visit our website today at www.baylor.edu/roundup and order your copy. That's www.baylor.edu/ROUNDUP. Have a great year, Bears, and sick 'em.
Pearson Reebok stepping into the left-handed batter's box, trying to get things started for the Bears. He walked in the first, stole a base, and came around to score as jammed up and fouls a ball off. Reebok last night reached on a pair of singles in the first and third innings, stole a base in the first. He fouls off another pitch inside. And you can see the strategy that's going towards pitching Pearson Reebok. It's keeping that ball high and tight, and he's been able to foul off the first two. He's now down the count 0-2, swinging and a miss. Drop, third strike, throw over to first in time. And that's a picture-perfect at-bat right there for Erdman. Two balls up and inside, so you set Pearson Reebok's his sight inside and up, and then you just drop it down with a breaking ball in the dirt, and you get him swinging for a 3-pitch strikeout.
Exactly, just mixing up those pitch counts, not letting these Baylor players get into a rhythm.
The first pitch to Tyson Armstrong misses outside.
Because it's something for Erdman. He's not like a Dax Whitney from last night that can just throw 99 and 99 in the same place and get you every time.
This one, one hopper snagged by Boyle. His throw across the diamond beats Tyson Armstrong. Who made some good contact with that pitch, just didn't have the angle. And Boyle makes a good clean play for the second out of the inning.
No, but for Erdman, it's trying to create some differences in the pitches that Baylor can see, because you can't rely on a 99-mile-an-hour fastball, a 98-mile-an-hour fastball. And so it's really just getting these Baylor players out of rhythm and not having them get used to him. And as we saw earlier in the year versus Portland, he can stay in these games for lots of innings.
First pitch to Janusek misses low. That was pitch number 45 from Erdman. And this one, a hard ground ball to short. Played cleanly by Boyle. His throw in time to beat Janusek. And it's a 1-2-3 inning for Zach Erdman and the Boilermakers. Trying to get back on the board. Bears lead 1-0 as we head to the bottom of the third. This is Baylor Baseball on the Baylor Lariat Radio.
Stay informed and stay connected with Lariat TV News. Tune in to LTVN every Friday, your go-to source for everything happening on campus and around Waco. From breaking stories to exclusive interviews, we cover campus events, student life, sports updates, and more. By the students, for the students. Catch our latest broadcast every Friday afternoon on YouTube by searching Baylor Lariat TV News. Hey Bears! Are you a freshman or senior? Freshman and senior portraits are now being scheduled. Watch your Baylor email for more information on how to reserve your sitting.
Ethan Calder back out for his third inning of work. Leading things off for the Boilermakers will be Brandon Rogers, who has yet to get a base hit this season. He's 0 for 9. He's played in 5 games, started in 3 of those. First pitch a little too high, called the ball.
And for Brandon Rogers, a really good defensive player, only allowing 1 error and having a .989 fielding percentage, but offensively just hasn't gotten it done this year.
That's a one-hopper snagged on a short hop by Travis Sanders, makes the throw and retires Rogers for a quick out number 1. So Rogers will have to wait a couple more innings to try again to get that first hit. He's now 0 for 10 to start this season.
Yeah, Jackson Bissett and Brandon Rogers. Jackson Bissett being walked earlier, both not getting their first hits of the season yet.
So that'll turn over the lineup card for the first time. Eli Anderson, the lefty, looks at strike 1 at the knees. Rocking a little bit of an old-fashioned look. No batting gloves, nothing on his wrists. A little longer sleeves under his jersey. Takes a big swing and gets under the high fastball. So he's down in the count 0-2.
I mean, it's been working for him. 18-game hitting streak. You know, if it's not broken, why fix it?
The 0-2 from Calder. Swing and a miss. Beautiful slider. Just drops out of the zone. And it's a 3-pitch strikeout for out number 2. That's K number 4 for Ethan Calder. 1 away from tying his total just a week ago.
Impressive what Ethan Calder has been able to do here, especially in that amount of innings pitched versus New Mexico State. Being able to get 5 strikeouts, and then today only through 3 innings, being able to get up near that value. Again,
so there's 2 outs, and the bases are empty for Weston Boyle, who struck out looking in the first. He takes a big swing at that first pitch and fails to connect. The 0 on this one Line drive into center field, running to his right is Ty Johnson, and he makes the catch for a really quick 1-2-3 inning for the Bears and Ethan Calder as we head to the 4th inning here at Dell Diamond for Game 2 of the Round Rock Classic. This is Baylor Baseball on the Baylor Lariat Radio. We head to the 4th inning at Dell Diamond, and both pitchers in the last inning really starting to find their stride. Both guys only throwing 7 pitches in the last frame.
They're really being able to get out of these innings quick, and Erdman bouncing back from a rough first inning.
This one, a slow dribbler up the middle. Tough play for Drake, and not in time as Ty Johnson's showing off the speed. There's a soft line drive that kind of stopped before it hit that infield dirt. And it was a tough play for Drake, having to race to his right, throw across his body, and unable to retire Ty Johnson.
And Richmond trying his best to extend there and get the out, but as you said, Ty Johnson just too fast.
Now runner on first, no outs. Throw back to first as Johnson gets in safely. Johnson kind of bouncing around the base paths a little bit. Has not attempted to steal a base yet. He led the team with 11 stolen bases in 12 attempts in 2025. A lot of bouncing around, moving back and forth. It's the first pitch to Buchanan, up and away, ball 1.
That's something that I've liked throughout this entire game for Baylor, is really committing. Yesterday they talked about speed on the base paths and really didn't see a whole lot of that outside of Reebok. And today, as you just saw, Ty Johnson bouncing around a little bit and really a lot more aggressiveness from every single player.
Erdman misses upstairs again. Now down in the count, 2 balls, no strikes. I think that's really Baylor's way of distracting the pitcher, and usually we see that them do it on third base against these righties, but Ty Johnson doing that against the lefty as that pitch down the middle for a strike. You know Erdman can see that just in the corner of his eyes. He throws back over to first. Buchanan had a single to lead off the second inning. Got stranded at third. Another throw over to first, and not much of a competition for Johnson. Was able to slide back in safely.
Johnson doing a great job of taking Erdman's concentration off of pitching and constantly making him have to throw back to first base.
Breaking ball called a strike, so now 2-ball and 2-strike count to Braden Buchanan. Another throw over to first. At this point, Erdman has thrown over to first more than he's actually pitched to Buchanan in this at-bat.
Yeah, it just seemed really uneasy so far in this inning compared to a stellar last inning with only 7 pitches.
This one fouled right above the Baylor dugout. Got to watch your head right there. That one was hot off the bat.
And that's what that running and that aggressiveness on the base paths really does, is it gets in the pitcher's head to where now you're at 2 balls and 2 strikes count, but you're elevating the pitch count.
And here goes Johnson. Pitch was low and inside. Throw is a little too far to the left as Johnson swipes his first bag of the season. And that's the second Baylor stolen base on the afternoon. Now with the runner in scoring position and only 1 out for Brighton Clements. I guess it was a called third strike. A late signal by the home plate umpire, Michael Morris. Throw back to second.
That was a weird throw by Erdman there. Not really putting a lot of effort into trying to throw it to second base, and that could have almost gone over the second baseman's head.
That pitch low to Clements, who bunted in the second inning and was thrown out by the catcher, Jackson Bissett. Did advance Buchanan from first to second, though. So he got the job done there. Now has another job to do. This pitch too far upstairs. 2 balls, no strikes to Clements. Trying to drive in Ty Johnson. The pitch. Gets a call on the outer third, and that's strike 1.
Clements, one of these other younger guys, redshirted last year, but as a redshirt freshman really being thrust into this game, and as we talked about, Mitch Thompson just trying to get these guys experience.
Center fielder Brandon Rogers playing in as this one low and inside. So a hitter's count now to Clements, 3-1. Good chance to extend his team's lead, the runner in scoring position. This one lifted into left center field near the gap, and it's down. 2 hops over to the wall. Heading for home is Ty Johnson, and he'll score. An RBI double for Brighton Clements. His first RBI of his college career, and he gives Baylor a 2-0 lead.
And that's exactly why Mitch Thompson is putting these guys out there, getting their confidence up, getting them seeing pitchers like Zach Erdman that have been in college baseball for multiple years, and just really getting them into this game and see what happens, a double and an RBI for Clements.
So there'll be a meeting at the mound. There is some movement going on in the Purdue bullpen. Trying to calm down Zach Erdman, who's given up 2 runs on 5 hits. While the Boilermakers right now, no runs on 1 lone hit. So far in this inning, Ty Johnson led off with a single, stole second base, and then Buchanan struck out. And Brighton Clements cashing in with an RBI double.
Erdman just seeming like he's been very uneasy throughout this entire inning. And as we talked about, got out of the previous inning very quickly, and now a lot of these pitch counts getting to 3 balls in almost every single one of them and just really elongating this inning for him.
And you could tell that he's very distracted by what's going on the base paths. When Ty Johnson was on first, he was just throwing over, and then threw over to second after Johnson had stole that bag. And he's been the one to take himself out of his own rhythm. As Bergman shows bunt, unable to make contact. And it looks like he did pull back. They appealed over to first base. And Mark Wagers said he pulled back in time. So 1 ball and no strikes to Caleb Bergman. Bergman looks back to second. Another bunt attempt from Bergman, but it'll bounce off his leg. First glance, it looked like that one was going to be really good. It looked like it had a chance to dribble right down that third base line, but he was just a little too excited to go on the base paths and it hit off his thigh.
Yeah, just didn't wait long enough to actually let the ball go out and started running with it as the ball was still on his bat and ultimately just hit his leg.
Only 1 out, trying to advance Clements to third. Throw back to second. And not in time as Clements back in safely.
Just a really tough situation for Erdman. Having a runner in scoring position, already letting up 1 run in this inning, and really not having a lot of leeway here.
This one, a high chopper to short. Boyle charging. His throw in time beats Caleb Bergman. And we've seen some good defense from Weston Boyle over the last 2 innings.
Yeah, some really good defense from him. Earlier was not able to get one of the throws over to first base, but that time able to set his feet, not having to jump to throw it, and just setting his feet, getting it to first, and now creating some reassurance, lifting some of the pressure off of Erdman.
So now with 2 outs and Clements on third, that brings up Bo Caraway. As this one, a blooper on the infield, snagged on a hop by Drake. His throw in time to get Caraway, and that'll end the inning. Strains a runner on third, but the Bears strike for another run. Brighton Clements, his first career RBI. The freshman gets a 1-out double, drives in Ty Johnson, and it's Bears 2, Boilermakers nothing. We are halfway through the 4th inning. This is Baylor Baseball on the Baylor Lariat Radio.
Hey there, Bears. Are you living your best life this year at Baylor? Well, we've got great news. The Baylor Roundup Yearbook has been right there with you, capturing those memories at every event. So don't forget to buy your 2022-23 Baylor Roundup Yearbook today and share your memories with friends and family for generations to come. But wait, did you already graduate? Don't worry, we've got you covered. We have yearbooks dating all the way back to 1896. So visit our website today at www.baylor.edu/roundup and order your copy. That's www.baylor.edu/ROUNDUP. Have a great year, Bears, and sick 'em.
It's beautiful Dell Diamond in Round Rock, Texas. People in for some great weather, a good ball game. Bears up 2-0. Front door breaking ball doesn't quite get the call. Sam Flores turned that front shoulder, didn't swing.
Sam Flores originally played in Waco a couple years ago from McLennan County and then transferred to Kansas State and then winded up here at Purdue.
As he lines one into center field, and it's a leadoff base hit for Flores. Now Flores coming into today had only had one at-bat against Baylor. That was March 23rd last year. Went 0 for 1 at Baylor Ballpark. That was with Kansas State. As he said, spent 2 years at McLennan Community College. First pitch to C.J. Raymond, called a strike on the outer half. It's 0-1. It's the big first baseman throw over to first, close play, but Flores back in time.
Calder putting his hands on his head, couldn't believe that he didn't tag him out.
Gets set, light green glove at his chest. A big swing and a miss. The breaking ball drops out of the zone. And Calder ahead in the count, 0-2.
This is where Calder was a couple innings ago, having a bunch of 0-ball, 2-strike counts, but
that pitch misses away.
Not being able to finish them, and that was what ended up happening, these full counts, 3-2. And so looking for in this inning, making sure to end these quickly, not have it get to a full count.
And Calder's done a really good job of working that low and outside corner against Richmond, who hits a hard ground ball to second, over to 2 for the first out, and to first for the double play. 4-6-3. And that empties the bases as there's now 2 gone here in the bottom of the 4th.
And that's exactly what you want if you're Calder. These innings, like the last inning, where low pitch counts, getting out early, and so you're not here in an elongated inning like Erdman was, and your confidence just slowly drains.
And what I really like from that play, it's that middle infield duo, Pearson Reebok and Travis Sanders. Those guys have known each other since they were in high school. They met through a mutual friend that played video games together. As this one is lifted high into center field. Ty Johnson calling off Bergman. He makes the catch, and that will end the inning. So Calder faces the minimum thanks to a 4-6-3 double play that C.J. Richmond hit into, as the Boilermakers are blanked for another frame as we head to the 5th inning here at Dell Diamond. This is Baylor Baseball on the Baylor Lariat Radio.
Hey Bears! Are you a freshman or senior? Freshman and senior portraits are now being scheduled. Watch your Baylor email for more information on how to reserve your sitting. Stay informed and stay connected with Lariat TV News. Tune in to LTVN every Friday, your go-to source for everything happening on campus and around Waco. From breaking stories to exclusive interviews, we cover campus events, student life, sports updates, and more. By the students, for the students. Catch our latest broadcast every Friday afternoon on YouTube by searching Baylor Lariat TV News.
As we reach the 5th inning on this Saturday afternoon ball game between the Baylor Bears and the Purdue Boilermakers. Bears up 2-0, 2 runs on 5 hits. Baylor's committed 1 error. Purdue No runs on 2 hits and no errors. That's been the Boilermakers' strong suit. It's been that defense. Travis Sanders looks at ball 1. He's had himself a rough weekend. He's had 5 strikeouts so far. Had 3 last night, 2 so far today. That pitch low for ball 2.
He's trying to get back into a rhythm after coming into this Round Rock Classic hitting .500.
But the one time he has put the ball in play, it's paid dividends, as that one misses low and inside, 3-1 count. And that was the RBI double that tied the ball game at 1 last night. Here's the 3-1 pitch from Erdman. This one, line drive into right field, and it's over the head of Swiderski. Heading for second is Sanders, and he will get in standing up. So there's been 2 outcomes for Travis Sanders on the weekend, either a strikeout or a double, and this time he gets 2 bases.
A great hit from Sanders, and getting it way earlier than he did in the game versus Oregon State, being able to get a double here in the 5th inning instead of later towards the 8th.
Pearson Reebok with an opportunity to get an RBI. Has his middle infield partner in scoring position, no outs. Erdman looks back, he throws. This one a bunt down the third base line, and it's a beauty. And there's going to be no throw as Pearson Reebok gets aboard with a bunt single and advances Travis Sanders over to third.
I think that's the best bunt that we've seen throughout this tournament, Jeffrey. We've seen a lot that have failed, and we saw the one from Hayes last night that worked, but that one worked to great success.
That was beautiful. That's exactly where you want it. You want it to go down and straddle that third base line. Don't go too far so the third baseman can make a play. Don't make it too close to the plate so that Bassett can make a play. And he got it right in the sweet spot and showing off some of that speed as well. So Pearson Reebok aboard for the 2nd time today. He walked and stole a base in the 1st. And now there's runners on the corners with 1 out. As Bassett giving his pitcher some words of encouragement.
And Erdman already getting up there in his pitch count, having 69 pitches so far, and just a really precarious situation for him, having no outs, a runner on third and first, and a guy in Pearson Reebok who has given pitchers, really a headache this entire classic, and can steal the base.
Now Tice Armstrong, good RBI opportunity, stares at strike 1. Armstrong has reached once this tournament. That was on an error by the catcher, so catcher's interference in the 8th inning last night. It's 0 for 2 now. There goes Reebok, called a strike and wasn't going to throw over to second. Throws to the shortstop, Boyle, trying to make sure Sanders stays put at third. So now 2 runners in scoring position. Swing and a miss. Tice Armstrong goes down on 3 strikes and can't cash in with 2 runners in scoring position.
That's exactly what you need if you're Erdman, having 0 outs, a runner on second and third, needing something positive, and getting a strikeout on a swing like that from Tice Armstrong. Got to give him some confidence going forward. And the big thing for Purdue is how long are you going to keep him in there for? We've known that he can pitch up to 8 innings, but right now, struggling a little bit.
Baylor 2 runs on 7 hits thus far. Now with a chance to make that lead bigger. First pitch in the dirt to Brady Janusek, who already has an RBI in this ballgame. Drove in Pearson Reebok in the 1st with an RBI single. Grounded out to short in the 3rd. The 1-0 pitch. The sinker just misses outside. Runners on second and third. 1 out. Pitch misses up and in, and there goes Sanders. Ball doesn't get too far away, and he is safe. A gutsy call from Travis Sanders, booking it from third on a ball that went about 7 feet away from the plate, and cashes in for the Bears' third run of the ball game.
And Bissett just not being able to get there to tag him out, and just a lot of confusion there, it seemed like, in terms of what to do. And really, this Baylor team has got Purdue rattled.
So it's ruled as a wild pitch, and little reminiscent of Tuesday night's game as Bissett tells his pitcher to step off the rubber. Reebok also advanced to third on the wild pitch. That pitch misses low. Ball 4 to Brady Janusek. A 4-pitch walk. That'll put runners on the corners.
It's very reminiscent of the Southern Miss game for Purdue, as although they had 1 run in that game, they allowed 4 runs in the 4th and were really down towards these middle innings and by a big margin, and looking like right now that it has the potential to get worse for them as they're already down by 3.
Throw back to first, not in time, as Janusek gets back standing up. Yeah, and that big inning for Southern Miss, as you were talking about, started with a walk, a single, an error on a pickoff attempt as Johnson bunts, and that'll score a run as the toss over to first, in time. So a nice squeeze play by the Bears, showing off the small ball, and they're up 4-0.
A total reversal from yesterday. These bunts are actually starting to work for Baylor, having 2 so far in this inning.
So it's a 4-0 ball game, 2 outs with Janusek on second for Braden Buchanan. As he lifts one high into shallow left field. Racing on is Boyle, and he just runs out of room as it hits into the second row of seats.
Yeah, that one really close to being an out for Purdue and getting them out of this inning that has really been a struggle.
No balls, 1 strike. Erdman with the light at the end of the tunnel, trying to get out of this inning as Buchanan fouls one straight to the backstop. 0-2 count. Erdman just 1 strike away from holding the damage to 2 runs. Bears still have a runner on second. And there goes Janusek over to third. He is out at third, as Sam Flores looks a little shaken up. Oh, and he's limping hard. And it looks like the umpires will have a meeting on the infield. That one was a close play. Let's look at this replay. It was definitely close.
I think they're deciding whether Janusek was tagged before Flores fell over.
Oh, he's safe. He's safe. Looking on that replay, he gets that right hand in before the tag. And so they're going to go to a review, and I think that's the right decision.
Yeah, because that's just such a tough sequence to call there with, Flores dropping to the ground and there being a collision.
Yeah, we're going to take a slow-mo look at this. He gets a hand in right there, and that's right before Flores is able to apply the tag on his chest.
Doesn't even look like, though, that Flores has his foot on the bag, but maybe it's just this angle we're seeing here.
Yeah, he doesn't get the tag in time. And it looks like Janusek's left leg might have caught him in the ankle. See if he can get the stolen base.
This Baylor team being real aggressive today on the base paths, as we've said all day so far. And if this goes in their favor, that will be another stolen base for them.
So far, 3 stolen bases on the day. This would be number 4 if the call is overturned. They also had Sanders and Reebok advance on a wild pitch earlier in the inning.
It looks like now they're slowing it down as soon as Janusek's hands reach the bag. Getting closer to a deliberation here.
And on that play, Janusek being really aggressive. He was already halfway down the line to third base before Erdman had any chance to throw, as the umpires are coming out and we'll get the call. And he is safe.
As you're talking about, Janusek was already midway to third, and there was a lot of confusion from Erdman there as he had to completely turn around and his infield was having to yell at him that Janusek was trying to steal third base.
And so the one time he doesn't have his eyes on the base path is when Baylor capitalizes. That pitch misses low and away to Buchanan. So now it's a 1-2 count with 2 outs. And Janusek on third. Bears trying to tack on a 5th run to lead 5-0. This one, a slow dribbler goes foul. They've already put up 2 in this inning. Here's the pitch. Fastball just inside.
A lot of these pitches for Erdman recently been going far inside, and Buchanan having to step out of the way these past 2 pitches to not get hit.
This one lifted in the deep right field, backing up, and it's over Swiderski's head. That's going to score a run. Buchanan will stop at second. It's an RBI double for the Bears' 3rd run of the inning. They lead 5-0.
That's been the 2nd time today that Baylor has been able to get the ball over Swiderski's head, been able to get a double. And as we talked about before this game, the hitting versus Oregon State, not a lot of success, and today was the day to really reestablish themselves, and that has been what they have done so far.
And the Boilermakers have had some arms throwing in the bullpen for a while now, and we'll see if that does it. And they haven't taken out Erdman yet. They haven't taken the ball from his hand.
He's still talking at the mound,
and yep, here comes an arm from the bullpen. That should do it from Erdman, who hasn't left the mound just yet. So they'll have a new pitcher come in, so we'll step aside just for a few moments, and we'll come back with the new arm from the Boilermaker dugout. Bears up 5-0, and this is Baylor Baseball on the Baylor Lariat Radio.
Hey Bears! Are you a freshman or senior? Freshman and senior portraits are now being scheduled. Watch your Baylor email for more information on how to reserve your sitting.
So new pitcher in for the Boilermakers. It's the righty graduate student, Graham Collin. He's only pitched once so far, went 1 inning on Sunday against Portland. Gets a called strike against Brighton Clements. In that 1 inning, gave up only 1 hit through 8 pitches, 5 of them for strikes. Now inheriting a runner on second. That pitch a little too high to Clemens. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs.
Before coming to Purdue, 4 years at NAIA Huntington University for Graham Collin.
That one skips in the dirt. 2 balls, 1 strike.
So Alley's pitched for a long time in college. Really hasn't seen competition like Baylor before.
He ends Erdman's day at 4 2/3 innings. Misses low once again, so he's down in the count, 3 balls, 1 strike. Erdman, not including the current runner on, has given up 5 runs on 8 hits, struck out 6, walked 2. Given up 3 doubles as well, all in the last 2 innings. This one popped up into shallow right field. Swiderski on to make the catch, and that'll retire the side, but the Bears put up a crooked number. They score 3 in the top half of the 5th inning as they lead 5-0. This is Baylor Baseball on the Baylor Lariat Radio.
Bears, are you always the last to know about what's happening at Baylor? Are you left quiet in a group when talking about last week's game? Well, you haven't gotten your morning buzz yet. Did you know you can get your dose of current Baylor news every Tuesday through Friday straight to your inbox? The Baylor Lariat Morning Buzz e-newsletter provides you with breaking Baylor stories, local events, and in-depth sports coverage daily. You can be in the know on all things Baylor. If you aren't already buzzing, go to BaylorLariat.com. That's BaylorLariat.com and click the subscribe now to get your morning buzz from the Baylor Lariat. News for the students, by the students. We'll see you in your inbox.
Ethan Calder back out on the mound. Now has a little bit of a cushion after the Bears put up a 3-spot in the top half of the 5th inning. It's now a 5-0 ball game. Calder so far has gone 4 innings of scoreless baseball, has given up 2 hits. He struck out 4 and walked 1 lone Boilermaker. Now it's Jackson Bissett back in the 2nd inning. He'll face Dylan Drake to start off this inning. Gets the fastball on the inner third of the plate. Called a strike. This one a hard ground ball, and it's past the diving reach of Clements into left field. As actually Ollie Banks, who is pinch hitting for Dylan Drake, and cashes in right away, so a good move by the Boilermakers, head coach Greg Goff. First pitch misses the zone for a ball.
And looking at the pitch count for Ethan Calder, you can really see the difference in him versus Erdman. 54 pitches compared to Erdman, upwards of 80 to 90.
A throw back over to first, not in time.
And that's what we talked about before this game. Even though both players have been in college for a while, it's Calder who has been in this position versus higher end schools and done so well.
Ground ball to short, over to second for the first out, and gets the double play. Back-to-back innings that started with a leadoff single and then a double play. This time, Travis Sanders got it started. It's a 6-4-3. And there's 2 gone here in the bottom of the 5th.
Just a great job by this Baylor defense getting 2 double plays so far today.
The first pitch to Zykowski misses away. And that was not an easy ground ball to turn for Travis Sanders. It was a slow roller that he had to go down to a knee, and he got to fire it right away. But a great throw to second as that one misses upstairs. 2 balls, no strikes.
Yeah, not many mistakes by this Baylor defense so far this year. Less than 5 errors total.
2-0 misses low. And yeah, really the only mistake that they've made was to lead off this ball game. Now it's Caleb Bergman dropping the routine fly ball to start the ball game. It's the Bears' lone error. That one misses away, and Zykowski's on board with a 4-pitch walk.
But that's just something for a young player like Bergman, getting used to these high-pressure moments. Maybe when you're playing baseball when you're younger, the sun's not much of an issue, but the pressure that mounts, suddenly the sun becomes that much brighter, and so having to get used to that today, and now with the sun not as much in the eyes of the outfielders, the pressure has taken off a little bit.
Throw back over to first, not in time. Yep. Partly cloudy day here in Round Rock. So you'll see it shifts from sunny to cloudy, and so sometimes it works in their favor. And this is a beautiful bunt straddling the third base line, and Brandon Rogers gets his first base hit of the season. He was 0 for 10 coming into that at bat, but a beautiful bunt. And there's now runners on first and second with 2 outs.
And just anything to get that first hit of the season, get your confidence going if you're Brandon Rogers, and really be able to not just get it done on the defensive side of the ball, but also offensively as well.
So, Goff now talking to pinch hitter Avery Moore. Moore coming in for Eli Anderson, the senior from Omaha. Has played in all 5 games. He started in 4 of them. He fouls off the first pitch. He went 0 for 2 with a pair of strikeouts against Southern Miss yesterday. This one just scoots past his feet, low and inside.
So far, only having 1 hit on the year.
He went 1 for 8 against Portland in that series. Skips this one in the dirt. 2 balls, 1 strike. His lone hit was on opening day, and then since then has not gotten a hit. Sean Snedeker coming out to talk to his pitcher.
This is the most action Ethan Calder has seen today, with a runner in scoring position and on first base, and having a pitch count right now, 2 balls and 1 strike.
Yeah, it's only the second time in the ball game that he's had to pitch with multiple runners on base. Also had to pitch with runners on the corners back in the second inning. But since then, it's been pretty clean. So now we'll have to try and come back and get Avery Moore out and get out of this jam. The pitch doesn't get the call at the knees. Well, it looked like a good fastball. Calder now digs himself a bigger hole. He's down 3-1. Caden Baker warming up in the bullpen. Popped up, and it'll go foul as Tice Armstrong gives it a look.
Now another full count here for Ethan Calder. Had mixed success today in terms of getting out of these.
Avery Moore, one of the few returners that we've seen on the field today. Runners going, and it's a called third strike. Avery Moore thought he had himself a bases loading walk, but Ethan Calder completes 5 innings of scoreless baseball and gets some high fives from his teammates as the Bears hold on to a 5-0 lead. And you're listening to Baylor Baseball on the Baylor Lariat Radio.
Hey there, Bears. Are you living your best life this year at Baylor? Well, we've got great news. The Baylor Roundup Yearbook has been right there with you, capturing those memories at every event. So don't forget to buy your 2022-23 Baylor Roundup Yearbook today and share your memories with friends and family for generations to come. But wait, did you already graduate? Don't worry, we've got you covered. We have yearbooks dating all the way back to 1896. So visit our website today at www.baylor.edu/roundup and order your copy. That's www.baylor.edu/ROUNDUP. Have a great year, Bears. and sick 'em.
As we reach the top of the 6th inning, pinch hitting for Caleb Bergman is Hunter Snow.
Hunter Snow almost having a home run yesterday, but as we talked about, Easton Tolt robbing him of a home run.
He ended up going 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts last night. So he'll lead things off against Graham Collin, who misses up and away. 1 ball, no strikes. Big swing and a miss. Can't make any contact. Hunter Snow, a Baylor legacy, but not necessarily in baseball. His dad, Justin, played football at Baylor from 1996 to 99. That one a called strike. His dad having a 12-year NFL career with the Colts. Now Hunter Snow trying to make his own legacy here. First season of play in college baseball, redshirted last year, as he lines one into center field and it finds the grass. Hunter Snow's first base hit of the weekend, and it's a pinch hit leadoff single to get the party started here in the 6th inning.
And just another Baylor player bouncing back from yesterday's performances, not getting any hits, having those 3 strikeouts, but getting a good single here and getting that confidence back up.
So that's hit number 9 for Baylor. They're only tallying 3 hits against Oregon State last night. It's been a much better game offensively. Caraway shows bunt, pulls back, and the pitch is low for ball 1.
Looked like Colin was going to have a nice start to this inning and having the potential of striking out Snow, but now having a runner on base and no outs.
Big swing and miss. There goes Snow heading for second, and a beautiful throw skips in and gets Hunter Snow.
And that's something that Bissett has struggled with all day, but they're finally able to get the man out at second.
Baylor now 4 for 5 on stolen base attempts today. Caraway shows bunt, pulls back again, and it's a called strike. Caraway now down in the count, 1 ball, 2 strikes. 1 out, bases are empty after the Hunter Snow caught stealing. The 1-2 pitch. Waves at the changeup, and he's down on strikes for out number 2.
As I was saying, looked like it was going to be a good first at-bat for Colin, and Hunter Snow got on base. But now this inning has quickly changed around, getting Hunter Snow out at second and then getting a strikeout in quick succession now at 2 outs.
I'll turn the lineup card over for Travis Sanders, who looks at strike 1. Had a double to lead off last inning. Came around to score on a wild pitch. looks of that one, so a familiar sight. He's down in the count 0-2. Sanders trying not to strike out for the third time in a second straight game. That pitch, little too high, ball one. The 1-2. Jammed in and fouls one over to his dugout down the first base line.
That was a scary pitch and eerily close to hitting Travis Sanders' elbow.
And Baylor's gotten hit multiple times this season early on. As a team, they've been hit 12 times already. This is only game number 6. Tice Armstrong leading the way with 3, like he does in multiple other offensive categories. This one, a soft line drive into shallow left center field, and it's a base hit for Travis Sanders.
And Travis Sanders just returning to form after having, as we talked about, that rough day yesterday, and then today starting out with 2 strikeouts, one looking and then one swinging. And now for 2 straight at-bats, having a double and a single.
So he'll keep this inning rolling. Now the runner on first 2 outs for Pearson Reebok. First pitch fastball misses away. Reebok 1 for 2 with a single and a walk. Scored both times. Also has himself a pair of stolen bases. Throw back to first, and Sanders was not very far off, only having to take one shuffle, and he returned back standing. The 1-0. Misses downstairs. 2 balls, no strikes. Fouled straight back. Yeah, looking out to Dell Diamond. There's a lot of cool things that you see. You got home run dugout past that Baylor bullpen in right center field, like Top Golf, but for baseball. Incredible. That one misses upstairs. Bissett looking back over to first, trying to keep Sanders close. You see right next to home run dugout, you got a rock wall to climb. Over in the seats in left field, right under it, you got some rocking chairs, which I think is such an interesting detail to add to a ballpark, as Colin throws back to first, not in time. That's really kind of the essence of minor league baseball, right? It's a great time, no matter who you are. There's a bunch of different ways to have fun. This one ripped down the right field line, and it'll twist just foul.
Definitely, that's the fun of having, a stadium, minor league baseball stadium like this one, is there is more of a sense that it's just relaxed, and you have 2 areas, both on the right field and the left field, for families to sit at, and the potential to get a home run if one makes it over.
And there's still high-level baseball, right? This is the home of the Round Rock Express, and there goes Sanders. But he'll have to return as Pearson Reebok just gets a piece of the ball, and Bissett can't hold on to it. So the count remains full, 2 outs. The Express, the AAA affiliate of the Texas Rangers, returned to the Rangers organization after spending a couple years under the Astros. The Reebok lifts this one back in foul.
Reebok doing a good job of staying in this at bat and making a lot of good contact on these foul balls.
We saw this from Oregon State a couple times last night, as this one is hit deep into straightaway right field. Swiderski turns his hips and he makes the catch to retire the side. As the Bears get 2 base hits, leave 1 runner on, and they don't score as they're still up 5-0 over Purdue as we head to the bottom of the 6th. This is Baylor Baseball on the Baylor Lariat Radio.
Stay informed and stay connected with Lariat TV News. Tune in to LTVN every Friday, your go-to source for everything happening on campus and around Waco. From breaking stories to exclusive interviews, we cover campus events, student life, sports updates, and more. By the students, for the students. Catch our latest broadcast every Friday afternoon on YouTube by searching Baylor Lariat TV News.
New pitcher in for the Bears, relieving the starter Ethan Calder. It's the righty Caden Baker with probably the best profile picture I've ever seen, the handlebar mustache. It's his first pitch upstairs for a strike.
Yeah, Caden Baker last year was not able to play for Baylor due to injury, but this year starting to see some time. Had 1 inning versus New Mexico State. Didn't have a lot of stats to go off of here. No hits, no strikeouts, but right now getting his second appearance, as it seems that there is a plastic bag that's gone onto the field and everybody's cheering the umpire picking it up.
The 1-0 pitch to Weston Boyle just misses that low and outside corner. Baker, right-handed pitcher out of Olive Branch, Mississippi, standing at 5'11", 201 pounds. Fastball, can't find that lower part of the zone again. First 3 pitches all been balls to Weston Boyle.
And Boyle, the only freshman in this Purdue lineup, saw some success earlier this year versus Portland, going 4 for 4.
That one a called strike. Weston Boyle about to toss his bat, but hesitated a little bit, so I think he knew that was a strike. He just wanted to influence Michael Morris a little bit, as this one, a line drive in the straightaway center field. It's down for a base hit. And Weston Boyle gets things started. 3rd straight inning with the leadoff single for Purdue. Last 2 times followed up by a double play, and we'll see if the Bears can get that to happen again. It was a 4-6-3 double play in the 4th, and then a 6-4-3 double play in the 5th. Now Sam Flores up to bat. That's a called strike. He was a little shaken up back in the 5th inning on a Brady Janusek stolen base. He got clipped by Janusek's left leg, and he was limping. Didn't look very good, but stayed in this ball game as he rips one, and it's right past the glove of Pearson Reebok into center field. Rounding second, heading for third is Weston Boylan. He will get in with no throw. So now runners on the corners with no outs.
And Ty Johnson doing a great job there of stopping that ball in center field, because that easily could have been one that would have gotten past him, and Purdue could have had a chance to score, but now still scoreless, but no outs for Caden Baker.
And so far this weekend, it's kind of been a mixed bag for this Baylor bullpen. This one blocked by Buchanan. First pitch to C.J. Richmond. Low for a ball. As we saw last night, Zach Wallace going 2 1/3, giving up 1 run, but then Caleb Bunch giving up 2 runs in the 9th inning. That one misses low again. 2 balls, no strikes to Richmond.
Really, if you're Caden Baker, as in C.J. Richmond's last at-bat, you got a double play. That's really something you want to see here, having runners on the corners and having no outs.
Swing and a miss from Richmond. Richmond hasn't had his best game so far. He's 0 for 2. Grounded out to a double play in the 4th, struck out in the 2nd. But he came into today with a .444 average. 2 RBIs and 2 runs as well.
Saw some success against Southern Miss last night as well, having 2 hits.
Here's the 2-1 pitch. This one hit deep, hit far. It is gone. Home run, C.J. Richmond, a 3-run shot. And that puts the Boilermakers within 2.
We had talked about didn't have a lot of success today for C.J. Richmond, but having a lot of success right now, getting a 3-run home run. And as we saw earlier, all the little kids in the right field corner were super excited earlier, thinking that they were going to get a home run. Didn't get it then, but now being able to get one now. And Purdue celebrating, as now this game has come alive again and is now competitive.
And what was such an impressive start for Ethan Calder. 5 innings of scoreless baseball. And Caden Baker has not fared as well. Now 3 runs given up on 3 hits and has not recorded an out yet. His first pitch to Jackson Bissett, check swing. Appeal over to first, and Mark Wagers said he went around.
If you're Caden Baker, really just trying to reset like this is the beginning of the inning.
And what was probably his roughest pitch of the outing skips by Braden Buchanan, threw that one into the left-handed batter's box. Hand glove at his face. He deals. The 1-1 too far upstairs. And that's ball 2.
And just like I was saying, if you're Caden Baker, you have to reset. Forget about the home run. Think of this as the beginning of the inning and just try not to keep making these mistakes and get rattled by that.
A high pitch misses, so it's 3 balls and 1 strike for Caden Baker. The Baylor righty Luke DeVasier warming up in the bullpen, the junior. Braden Buchanan comes out to talk to his pitcher. Travis Sanders also joining in, and now you got to try to buy some time for DeVasier, who's been in a couple times this season.
0-2 Jackson Bissett just waiting for that first hit of the season. Now the only Purdue player in this lineup that hasn't gotten hit this season, with Brandon Rogers earlier getting a hit of his own.
Yeah, DeVasier, who's warming up in the bullpen, went 2/3 of an inning against New Mexico State, gave up no runs on no hits, struck out a guy, and then gave up only one hit in a inning of work against Texas State on Tuesday, as this one is lifted up and foul. And DeVasier looks like he's going to be an arm that we're going to see consistently in middle relief throughout the season. Spent the last 2 years at Tyler Junior College. This one right back to Baker, off of his body. And the throw from Sanders in time to get Bissett. And what's going to be an odd 1-6-3 ground out.
And that was a great throw by Sanders. You know, if they had radar guns here, the velocity on that thing was off the charts. And also such a great job by Tice Armstrong being able to stretch out and get that out. Now Allie Banks coming in for the second time today.
Yeah, we have some numbers on that C.J. Richmond home run as Sean Snedeker comes out with the trainer to look at Caden Baker after getting nailed by that hard line drive. So on that Richmond home run, 112.8 miles an hour off the bat, 404 feet, 30-degree launch angle. He smashed that ball.
I mean, that was one, as soon as he made contact, both of us here in the booth knew that that one was going to go out.
Yeah, I didn't even see where that ball landed. It might have gone beyond the grass in right field. I did not see how far it went.
Now Caden Baker just throwing some pitches, making sure that there's no injuries or anything like that after really getting belted there.
Yeah, Caden Baker, as you had mentioned earlier, missed the 2025 season due to injury. Pitched for 3 years at Lewisburg High School. He had 68 strikeouts in 52 2/3 innings as a senior. First team All-District. This one a swing and a miss from Ollie Banks, who pinch hit for Dylan Drake in the 5th inning.
Ollie Banks, another guy that coming from a lower tier school, playing 2 years at Georgia Highlands College and now here at Purdue, and trying to continue the success he had from earlier.
He had a check swing, but did go around, so no balls, 2 strikes. That pitch just misses as Caden Baker was starting to skip off of the mound, hoping to get out number 2. This one a line drive up the middle, and it finds its way into center field.
Allie Banks really having a great day so far, just coming in for that pitch hitting position and going 2 for 2.
4th base hit allowed by Caden Baker in this inning. 3rd single. And that'll bring up the 7-hole hitter Trey Swiderski. And here comes Mitch Thompson pointing out to the bullpen. So we'll get to see Luke DeVasier for the 3rd time this season. But we'll step aside just for a few moments and we'll come back. This is Baylor Baseball on the Baylor Lariat Radio.
Hey there, Bears. Are you living your best life this year at Baylor? Well, we've got great news. The Baylor Roundup Yearbook has been right there with you, capturing those memories at every event. So don't forget to buy your 2022-23 Baylor Roundup Yearbook today and share your memories with friends and family for generations to come. But wait, did you already graduate? Don't worry, we've got you covered. We have yearbooks dating all the way back to 1896. So visit our website today at www.baylor.edu/roundup and order your copy. That's www.baylor.edu/ROUNDUP. Have a great year, Bears, and sick 'em.
So Luke DeVasier comes in for Caden Baker after Baker gave up 3 runs on 4 hits, getting only 1 out. And he will inherit Ollie Banks on first. DeVasier's first guy he will face will be Trey Swiderski. His first pitch. Hard ground ball to short. Toss to second for 1. Over to first for the double play. 3 straight innings with a double play for the Bears. And DeVasier, not mincing words, not wasting time, gets out of the inning as we head to the 7th. This is Baylor Baseball on the Baylor Lariat Radio.
Stay informed and stay connected with Lariat TV News. Tune in to LTVN every Friday, your go-to source for everything happening on campus and around Waco. From breaking stories to exclusive interviews, we cover campus events, student life, sports updates, and more. By the students, for the students. Catch our latest broadcast every Friday afternoon on YouTube by searching Baylor Lariat TV News.
was a rooster by Allison Chains. And coming in to pitch for Purdue is Joe Trineri, the righty out of Granger, Indiana. His first pitch to Tice Armstrong gets a swing and a miss.
And Joe Trineri, a sophomore, had 10 innings pitched last year, allowed 10 earned runs in those innings, and this year made his lone appearance versus Rice, pitching in 1 inning and having 2 strikeouts.
This one, a ground ball over to third base. Flores moving to his left, dots it across the infield in time to get Armstrong, who is now 0 for 4. That was his second ground out, also has 2 Ks. Still looking for his first base hit of the weekend. And now it'll be Brady Janusek, who's reached twice, a single with an RBI in the first, and then a walk and scored a run in the 5th. You'll stare at strike 1, called at the knees.
Tice Armstrong, the struggles from yesterday just still continuing into today, as he is the only Baylor player in the lineup that hasn't gotten a hit yet.
The 0-1 pitch from Trineri. Big swing and a miss. Got him on a nasty changeup. Out in left field watching the last couple innings of this game. It's a couple of Oregon State players in the grass. Is this one a blooper on the infield and a jumping snag made by CJ Richmond running to his right, and that'll be a quick out number 2.
CJ Richmond doing a really great job these recent innings, hitting that monster 3-run home run, and they're getting the out to now make this seem like a pretty quick inning so far for Joe Trineri.
Trineri now trying to face Ty Johnson, get a 1-2-3 inning. First pitch barely misses that low and outside corner for ball 1. There's only been one 1-2-3 inning for Purdue thus far. It was in the 3rd inning. Pearson Reebok struck out, and then Armstrong and Janusek grounded out to short. Since then, Baylor's had a runner on bases. Ty Johnson swings over that pitch. 91-mile-an-hour fastball. The pitch, this one lifted near the gap in left center, but moving to his left to make the catch is Avery Moore. And it's a 1-2-3 inning for Joe Trineri, trying to will his team back in front. The Bears holding on to a 5-3 lead as we head to the 7th inning stretch here at Dell Diamond. You're listening to Baylor Baseball on the Baylor Lariat Radio.
Hey Bears, are you always the last to know about what's happening at Baylor? Are you left quiet in a group when talking about last week's game? Well, you haven't gotten your morning buzz yet. Did you know you can get your dose of current Baylor news every Tuesday through Friday straight to your inbox? The Baylor Lariat Morning Buzz e-newsletter provides you with breaking Baylor stories, local events, and in-depth sports coverage daily. You can be in the know on all things Baylor. If you aren't already buzzing, go to BaylorLariat.com. That's BaylorLariat.com. And click the subscribe now to get your morning buzz from the Baylor Lariat. News for the students, by the students. We'll see you in your inbox.
Luke DeVasier back out. They're getting a inning-ending 6-4-3 double play on the one batter he faced. Coming in now for Zykowski is Aaron Manias. His first pitch turns on a fastball and he hits it foul.
Aaron Manias is a redshirt senior, bringing some experience. One of the returning players from last year's roster as well.
So he looks at that one. 1-1 now. And Big Ten Player of the Week announced on March 10th last year. In that week, he went 9 for 17, 13 RBIs, 6 runs, and a pair of home runs, as well as 4 doubles. He was just eating up at the plate as he skies this one in the shallow center field. Moving over to left, and Hunter Snow makes the sliding catch. We're going to need to see how far he went on that one. That was about 15 feet away from the infield dirt. He had to go a long way to make that catch.
Just really seeing the athleticism from Hunter Snow there, and we've seen so many plays from him just already during this tournament, as even yesterday there was a really hard hit ball that went over to his side of the field, and just being able to manage it, step on his back foot, and then throw it back out into play. But just a lot of great plays here from Hunter Snow.
So now it's Brandon Rogers. It's this one and finds another base hit. Came into today 0 for 9, and now he's 2 for 3. A ground ball that gets by Brighton Clements. And he is aboard with 1 out. Back-to-back singles for Brandon Rogers as Jimmy Dion will pinch hit for Avery Moore, who was pinch hitting for Eli Anderson.
And Jimmy Dion, a junior, played his first 2 years at Howard College in Bring Spring, Texas, near Midland. He was NJCAA D1 second team All-American after hitting 22 home runs last year.
First pitch misses low from DeVasier.
Played in 3 games so far this year. It's 2 at-bats and 1 hit.
Yeah, those 22 home runs last year, that ranked 6th. As this one a blooper, and it finds some air and goes to right field as Brady Janusek runs to his right to make the catch.
And a great job by the outfield just seeing the ball too, because as we said, it's sunny to start this game, a little bit partly cloudy towards the middle. Now the sun has come back out in the 7th inning.
That ball caught the air, caught some wind that's going from left to right. Now Weston Boyle is 1 for 3 on the day. Check swing. And the home plate umpire, Michael Morris, said Weston went around. Two outs, runner on first. That ball fouled straight back.
You can already see the difference in DeVasier, just how different this inning has been. It seemed like the 6th inning was eternal for Baylor, but right now already at 2 outs and 2 strikes at this at-bat.
Here's the pitch. This one line drive, and it goes foul down the right field line. DeVasier's speed a little step up from what Purdue had to face earlier in the ballgame. Fastball ranging around 91, 92 miles an hour.
These last two pitchers, DeVazier and Joe Trineri, really having a lot more, not a lot, but more speed to their pitches.
As there goes Rogers, and it's a base hit into right field. He's being held up at third, and another successful hit and run for Purdue, their second one of the ball game.
Now, as we've talked about, it has been a better inning, but now getting a little bit more stressful out there, as now a runner on third, and had a 5-0 lead, just cut to 5-3, and really not trying to get that any closer for Baylor.
The Bears with a lot of movement going on in the bullpen. They've got one arm throwing. They got a couple guys out there stretching.
One thing I'll say as well is, Braden Buchanan, the sophomore, filling in today for J.J. Kennett and just having such great leadership today and just really motivating these pitchers.
Yeah, I think this is a great time just to talk to your guy. Again, you got to slow him down. You want him to kind of regroup, reset for this next at-bat, because all you need is now, and these runners on the corners, they disappear. I think you also want to give the guys that are warming up in the bullpen some extra time, that if this inning does go sideways, then you can take DeVazier out when you need it. So he'll face Sam Flores with runners on the corners, 2 outs. Flores 2 for 3 with a pair of singles. Also came around to score in the 6th. That was on the C.J. Richmond 3-run home run, as here comes Mitch Thompson, and looks like they'll go to the bullpen once again. So the Bears will bring out a 4th arm, trying to get 1 out, and Luke DeVazier will end this outing going 1 1/3 innings pitched, and will be responsible for the 2 runners on. But we'll head to a quick break, and we'll come back with the new arm. This is Baylor Baseball on the Baylor Lariat Radio.
Stay informed and stay connected with Lariat TV News. Tune in to LTVN every Friday, your go-to source for everything happening on campus and around Waco. From breaking stories to exclusive interviews, we cover campus events, student life, sports updates, and more. By the students, for the students. Catch our latest broadcast every Friday afternoon on YouTube by searching Baylor Lariat TV News.
And the Bears are going to the lefty, junior R.J. Rouet. Trying to get out of this inning. He's got runners on the corners with 2 outs. In his 3rd year with Baylor. Made 14 appearances last season in relief, a .635 ERA through 11 1/3 innings. 9 of his 14 appearances were scoreless, and 6 of those were hitless. His first pitch low and away, ball 1.
Yeah, Rouet just had some struggles even in his freshman year, having an ERA above 5, and just continued in the last year, trying to just bounce back and ultimately get his ERA down in his junior year.
Here's the 1-0 pitch to Flores. This one ripped down the first base line, but it twists foul.
As we've really seen, a lot of these guys that get put in that, haven't had a lot of experience this year at least, like Rouet just only having 2 outs versus New Mexico State, getting thrust into situations that are very high stress, and so it's a real good indicator of what they can handle.
Lefty on lefty matchup. Here's the pitch. This one line drive snagged on a hop, and the toss over to second, not in time. Pearson Reebok tried to get the force out at second, and the toss is too late, and Mitch Thompson will ask for a review, but at first glance, it looked like that was the right call.
Yeah, just fumbled the ball a little bit there, and that was what they really needed to get out of this inning, but just wasn't able to do it as we see the replay right now.
Yeah, he looks safe, and it was a hard line drive that Reebok had to snag on a short hop. Kind of ate him up a little bit, but he was able to stay with it pretty well, just couldn't get the toss off in time. As we expect the call to not be overturned, to be upheld.
And that would really flip this game now. Purdue, if this call goes their way, it would be a 5-4 game.
Yeah, the pressure continues to mount because obviously pitching is not, the bullpen has not held up their end of the bargain today, but the offense over the last 2 innings, not a whole lot going on. So you're really going to need that lineup to start picking it up in the last 2 innings when Purdue just keeps on laying it on.
And this is sort of where Purdue also came back versus Southern Miss. Early in the game, getting down 4-1 versus them. And, right now they're doing it in the bottom of the 7th. But versus Southern Miss, they were able to get 3 runs and get back into that game. And so now, this is what this Purdue team is showing. But the real difference is, even if they do get back into this game, is can they fully finish it out?
Well, the umpires come out of the review room, and we'll get our call. And the runner is safe. And that brings a cheer to the Purdue fans, and that'll drive in a run.
Now a 5-4 game, and 5-0 lead that Baylor had just suddenly seeming like it's disappearing. And now a batter that you don't want to see, C.J. Richmond, who hit the 3-run home run earlier, now up to bat and could potentially gain the lead for Purdue.
Lefty on lefty against Rouet. First pitch called a strike.
And kind of saving grace for Baylor here is those 2 outs, or else this would be a much worse situation.
This one a ground ball, and it gets past the diving reach of Reebok. The throw to the plate, cut off, throw over to first, and it's dropped by Brighton Clements. So it's an RBI single from C.J. Richmond, and we are all tied up at 5 here in the bottom of the 7th inning.
Yeah, it really looked like there was hope there to get the man out at third and just wasn't able to hold on to it. And now it's a tied ball game, and CJ Richmond really having himself a day and just being there when Purdue needs him. And if Purdue comes back and wins this game, he's going to be the player of the game for them for what he has done.
Yeah, now it's 4 RBIs, a home run, and a single after starting the day 0 for 2. So now the lead runner 90 feet away at third. Runners in the corners, 2 outs. The first pitch to Bissett called a strike. Bissett 0 for 2, reached on a walk in the second.
Still searching for that first hit of the season for Bissett.
And there is not much of a better time than right now to get that. That one a called strike, and Purdue not happy about that call. That one they thought looked a little low. I could see one of the guys in the dugout tapping his head, trying to get a challenge on that strike call. Obviously, can't do that in college baseball. This pitch misses inside as CJ Richmond will walk over to second base. No attempt at getting him.
Looked like there was a little hesitancy there whether Buchanan was going to throw it or not, and Richmond just walked over.
Yeah, and that was the smart decision with Flores at third. It's already a quarter of the way down, but backdoor breaking ball misses high. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Runners on second and third in what's now a 5-5 ball game here in the bottom of the 7th. The pitch from Rouet. This one lifted down the right field line, turning, and it is foul. Bissett gave it a good look, but couldn't quite get it in between the lines. The count remains at 2-2. Rouet and the Bears still just 1 strike away from getting out of this inning.
That would have been the perfect placement as well, a hit down the right field line, and could have potentially drove in 2 more runs. That goes foul.
Rouet gets set. He deals. This one a slow chopper, and it goes to the Purdue dugout. Foul. So what looked like a game that was firmly in Baylor's control has now flipped on its head with a 3-run 6th inning and now a 2-run 7th that has not finished just yet. Here's the 2-2. Skips in the dirt. And it's a full count, 2 outs. So if the ball's put in play, both runners will be on the move.
This is an out that Baylor needs right now because you don't want to have to go to a player like Dylan Drake.
Swing and a miss. A low breaking ball, and Braden Buchanan pumps his fist at his pitcher as the Bears strand runners in scoring position, but not after the Boilermakers tie this one up with back-to-back RBI singles. And it's a 5-5 ball game as we head to the 8th inning. This is Baylor Baseball on the Baylor Lariat Radio.
Hey Bears, are you always the last to know about what's happening at Baylor? Are you left quiet in a group when talking about last week's game? Well, you haven't gotten your morning buzz yet. Did you know you can get your dose of current Baylor news every Tuesday through Friday straight to your inbox? The Baylor Lariat Morning Buzz e-newsletter provides you with breaking Baylor stories, local events, and in-depth sports coverage daily. You can be in the know on all things Baylor. If you aren't already buzzing, go to BaylorLariat.com. That's BaylorLariat.com and click the subscribe now to get your morning buzz from the Baylor Lariat. News for the students, by the students. We'll see you in your inbox.
Leading things off for the Bears in the top of the 8th inning, Pearson Reebok. He pops one up on the infield, and running to his left is the second baseman, Ollie Banks, and that ball caught a lot of wind and goes foul.
Yeah, Ollie Banks there trying to make the catch and having to be careful there because it looked like he could have jammed his leg towards the wall, but stays unscathed and no outs.
Oh, the 0-1 count to Braden Buchanan and the pitch from Tenery.
As we were talking about earlier, Buchanan done such a great job on the defensive side filling in for Gannett, but also offensively today going 2 for 3.
That pitch misses upstairs. 2 balls, 1 strike to Buchanan. Had the RBI double in the 5th, had a single back in the 2nd. Looking for hit number 3. Big hole down the middle of the infield. It's the pitch. Jammed and fouled back. Close to our level, right to our right. So I know that both of us were ready if the ball comes our way. Is that right, Aidan?
Definitely, especially that one. That one, little lower speed, looked like it could have been catchable.
Yeah. Definitely wouldn't have hurt as much. The 90-mile-an-hour fastball misses high. 3 balls, 2 strikes, no outs, nobody on. Pitch from Trineri. That one hits Braden Buchanan. And he's the first Baylor batter to be hit. 13th time the Baylor hitter has been nailed by a pitch this season.
That's good. It gets you on base, but that's not a stat I'm sure that the Baylor players really want to go up. As we saw yesterday, especially with Kennett, some of those hit by pitches can be really aggressive.
And so it looks like that'll do it for Trineri as Greg Goff comes out, and Purdue will make another call to the bullpen. So we'll take a quick break, and we'll return with some info on our new friend in the black and gold. You're listening to Baylor Baseball on the Baylor Lariat Radio.
Stay informed and stay connected with Lariat TV News. Tune in to LTVN every Friday, your go-to source for everything happening on campus and around Waco. From breaking stories to exclusive interviews, we cover campus events, student life, sports updates, and more. By the students, for the students. Catch our latest broadcast every Friday afternoon on YouTube by searching Baylor Lariat TV News.
New pitcher in for the Boilermakers. It's the righty, redshirt sophomore out of Cartersville, Georgia, Jackson Greer.
Yeah, Jackson Greer was a teammate at Georgia Highlands College with Allie Banks and did not pitch in 2024. And then this year has pitched a total of 2 innings over 3 games and has 3 strikeouts so far.
And then last year for Georgia Highlands College, had 5 saves and 2 wins in 22 appearances. Had 41 strikeouts as he throws back over to first. As the pinch runner on first is Cade Dodson coming in for Braden Buchanan. Another throw back to first, not in time. Bryden Clements up to bat, righty versus righty against Greer. That slider misses away. 1 ball, no strikes.
That was what Baylor did a little bit yesterday, as we talked about, just showing those bunts, getting them to throw the ball outside, and ultimately pulling back.
Here's a pitch from Greer. Clements showing bunt, and it goes just foul down the first base line. So Clements and Dodson will have to return.
This Baylor desperately trying to get somebody in scoring position and regain this lead after the past 2 innings. That 5-0 lead just evaporating.
Dodson 1 for 1 on stolen base attempts this season. The 1-1, another throw back to first. Dodson in safely. So last year at UT Arlington, Dodson stole 16 bases as Clements bunts one foul. So now he'll have to swing down in the count 1-2.
Dodson and Armstrong just being such a big part of that UT Arlington team, and then, you know, Mitch Thompson seeing both their talents and able to lure both of them over here to Baylor.
Yeah, and Kay Dodson, his dad Jeremy played baseball at Baylor from 96 to 98, drafted by the Kansas City Royals. Another throwback to first.
Purdue crowd seems to think that that was very close there, and looks like Jackson Greer. I mean, there's been a lot of throwbacks to first at just his first inning, and Cade Dodson making him uncomfortable.
The 1-2 pitch. Cold third strike, got him at the knees. And that'll be out number 1 here in the top of the 8th.
And that one looked really slow coming in, only 71 miles an hour.
And that's strikeout number 8 for Boilermaker pitching today. Erdman had 6, Graham Collin had 1, and now Jackson Greer adding to that total. First pitch to Hunter Snow skips in the dirt.
Something that you've seen really shift is Baylor, you know, was leading earlier with 10 hits, and now it's just completely shifted to Purdue having 12 hits, and now Baylor just still staying at 10, and ever since the 4th inning has been super quiet.
This one a swing and a miss. There goes Dodson, and he is safe at second. His second stolen base on the season, is 18th in his collegiate career, and the umpires will have a little meeting. Well, let's look at this replay. It was definitely close. Not the great throw, and it looks like Dodson got in safely. It's Weston Boyle. He tried to tag him on the forearm, couldn't make contact, and got him up near the shoulder, and I think that's what the difference was. Just looking at the replay, Dodson got that left hand in.
And a good job by Boyle, kind of adjusting there from a poor throw by Bissett and making sure he got over there quick to try to tag Dodson. And we'll see what the review ends up being.
And so if Dodson is safe, Baylor will be 5 for 6 on stolen base attempts today. And we didn't see a whole lot of aggressive base running in the first series against New Mexico State. They really didn't have to do that, but over the last 3 games, they've really started to pick it up because that's where their offensive identity is grinding out these at-bats, grinding it out on the base paths. And it's been working so far today. This will be their 5th stolen base if the call is upheld. And here we'll get the call. And the call is upheld, so Cade Dodson gets the stolen base. That's Baylor's 5th on the afternoon.
As you're talking about, just that speed on the base paths and being more aggressive, you know, as that was something they tried to do after some of those New Mexico State games. But last night it was notably absent versus Oregon State outside of Pearson Reebok. And so today, really amping that aggressiveness up to everybody on this roster.
So now the leading run is in scoring position with 1 out. 1-1 count to Hunter Snow. Here's the pitch. Backdoor breaking ball. Doesn't find the zone. That'll be ball 2. Infield shifted to the right. Going to the pull side of the lefty Snow. This one low and away. 3 balls, 1 strike. First baseman C.J. Richmond playing about 5 feet off of the foul line. Second baseman Ollie Banks a couple feet into the right field grass. And this one skips in for ball 4. So Hunter Snow is aboard for the 2nd time today after pinch hitting for Caleb Bergman in the 6th. There's now runners on 1st and 2nd with 1 out.
This is just a great position for Baylor, having a runner in scoring position, having a run on first. And this is really kind of what we saw, you know, except there was a man on 3rd for C.J. Richmond. But this is kind of similar to John Ewens out to hit for the first time today for Baylor and trying to drive another run in and get Baylor's lead back.
Ewens started at DH last night, went 0 for 2 with a pair of strikeouts. Also walked once as well. There's a little meeting on the mound between Bissett and his pitcher, Jackson Greer. So now Greg Goff will come out, and we'll have some more delays to this ball game, and we'll have another call to the bullpen. So first half of this game, we were rolling along just fine, not a whole lot of stoppages, but these last couple innings, we've seen a lot of pitching changes, and we'll get another one here.
Yeah, just a lot of, you know, having to play like a chess match between these 2 head coaches in Purdue and Baylor, and how long are they going to leave their pitchers out there? Who are they going to change? What type of arm are they going to put out? And so that type of chess match between those 2 coaches is really pivotal going into, we're already at the top of the 8th, is while it's felt slow ever since the 5th, we're getting close to this game being over and this game being done. And so every decision right now matters so much. And so having a runner at 2nd, having a runner at 1st, and only having 1 out is a precarious situation for Purdue. And you really don't want to let Baylor get the momentum back if you're Purdue. And for Baylor, this is the moment to get back in control and take that into the bottom of the 8th and really just cruise out the rest of this game and have it be like Southern Miss for Purdue, where they make that comeback, but you regain the lead and keep it.
And John Ewens, 2nd on the team with 5 RBIs, right behind his teammate Tyson Armstrong with 15. So we'll step aside just for a few moments, and we'll come back with this at-bat for John Ewens and our new pitcher. You're listening to Baylor Baseball on the Baylor Lariat Radio. New pitcher in for the Boilermakers. It's the lefty out of Morgan Hill, California, Trevor Kester Johnson. Aidan, how about you give us the rundown on this new lefty?
Yeah, Kester Johnson played 2 collegiate seasons at Santa Barbara City College and then transferred over to Purdue this year and has had 3 appearances. He's played 1.2 innings and allowed 1 run so far and had 2 strikeouts.
And a good front door breaking ball in for a strike to John Ewens. Pinch hitting for Bo Caraway. Check swing on the low slider. Appeal over to third base. Doug Williams says no swing. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Runners on first and second. Dodson on second serves as the leading run. We're tied 5-5 here in the top of the 8th. The pitch, this one lifted into straightaway center field. Running to his right is Rogers. He'll make the catch. And there goes Dodson racing for a third, and there will be no throw. Great hustle from Dodson, who had to return to second base once he knew Rogers was going to make the play and then just booked it for third. And now stands 90 feet away as the leading run.
Yeah, Dodson doing a great job there of timing it up, and that was really quick decision-making by him, and really there was no chance that Purdue was going to have of tagging him out at third, and now you have a chance with Travis Sanders, who, after a kind of a cold start today with 2 of those strikeouts, has been doing really well ever since.
So now the infield will have a talk as Greg Goff will have a little chat with the home plate umpire, Michael Morris.
Interesting. This is not the first time today that he's had a conversation with the umpire. Some miscommunications in the first inning, and had some conversations with him then, and that one looked like not a very positive conversation as he was walking away, him shaking his head.
And so now he's making his way to the mound, and are we going to have another pitching change? There's 2 guys warming up in the Purdue bullpen. Kester Johnson has only faced 1 batter. That was John Ewens with the fly out.
I mean, at some point, if you're Purdue, there's got to be enough confidence in your pitchers to stay out there longer than 3 batters, longer than 1 batter, and not just be constantly cycling. As we've seen from Mitch Thompson, keeping those guys out there, letting them gain experience really does help them improve and see what it is like at this kind of level.
And so they will keep Kester Johnson on the mound as he'll face Travis Sanders, who's 2 for 4 today. A double and a run in the 5th, a single in the 6th. He had the game-tying RBI double last night in the 8th inning, and they will intentionally walk Travis Sanders. Something you don't see often against leadoff hitters, but that will load the bases with 2 outs for Pearson Reebok.
And it's an interesting decision, as though Reebok just has 1 hit today. I mean, he's still been great throughout this classic, and I don't know if you're putting yourself in a better situation by walking Sanders.
And Kester John has not had a favorable go at it. Gave up 2 runs against Rice, 1 against Portland on Sunday, as his first pitch misses low and away to Reebok. And just not a whole lot of confidence from Greg Goff in his relief pitchers.
And that's got to rub off on them, constantly having to go talk to them and not really letting them handle it on their own.
And that pitch misses outside as well. So a hitter's count, 2 balls, no strikes to Reebok, who's 1 for 3 with 2 runs and a pair of stolen bases as well. Here's the pitch. Paints that low and outside corner with the fastball. Gets the called strike. Baylor finally getting the traffic that they had in the 4th and 5th innings. That's a big swing and a miss. Drops the bottom of the zone with that breaking ball. And it's a 2-2 count. 2 outs, bases loaded. In a tied ball game. 5-5 here in the top of the 8th inning. The pitch. This one ripped and snagged on a dive. CJ Richmond, and he is pumped. What could be a game-saving play for Purdue. And the Bears strand the bases loaded, and we are still tied up at 5 as we head to the bottom half of the 8th inning. This is Baylor Baseball on the Baylor Lariat Radio.
Hey there, Bears. Are you living your best life this year at Baylor? Well, we've got great news. The Baylor Roundup Yearbook has been right there with you, capturing those memories at every event. So don't forget to buy your 2022-23 Baylor Roundup Yearbook today and share your memories with friends and family for generations to come. But wait, did you already graduate? Don't worry, we've got you covered. We have yearbooks dating all the way back to 1896. So visit our website today at www.baylor.edu/roundup and order your copy. That's www. Have a great year, Bears, and sick 'em.
CJ Richmond has been the star of the show for Purdue so far. 4 RBIs and a game-saving play. In the top of the 8th inning, a diving snag that stranded the bases loaded and kept this game tied up at 5. We are now into the bottom of the 8th. Ollie Banks pops one up into shallow right field. 3 guys converge. And what's the call? And it's a catch. A sliding catch by Pearson Reebok, making the trek all the way over to the right field line.
Yeah, great catch by Reebok, and we can hear him all the way from up here saying, I got it, and running over to the corner there and making the catch. And funnily enough, that was against Ollie Banks, because that was the same type of catch he tried to make earlier, but just couldn't make it. And so now one getting outs already.
So now it's Trey Swiderski. 1 for 3, a single in the second, has grounded out into 2 double plays since then. Pitch from Rouet. This one lifted deep into left field, but he just got under it as Hunter Snow races to the corner and makes the catch for the second out of the inning.
And that one looked like it had potential at the beginning to be another home run for Purdue, but just not enough speed on it and just slowly died into the left field. And Hunter Snow able to make an easy catch, and now 2 outs already, and Baylor with a chance to get this thing moving quick and get to the top of the 9th.
So now Manius up to bat. He's talking with his head coach and third base coach, Greg Goff. Rouet not stepping off the rubber. He's still locked and loaded, ready to pitch at a moment's notice. Not trying to get out of any kind of rhythm.
He is locked in right now.
This one a swing and a miss. Manius popped out his only time up back in the 7th inning. Hunter Snow having to run a long way to make the sliding catch. The inside pitch clips the zone, and Manius is down in the count 0-2. Rouet not wasting any time. He deals. Foul tip off the glove of Kennett, who has come in for Braden Buchanan. After K. Dodson pinch ran for Buchanan in the top half of the inning. And he'll get first base, and
Like a hit by pitch, but there's some disagreement, and Kennett saying that he shouldn't have been going to first base, and Mitch Thompson coming out thinking there might be a case.
yeah, you could see J.J. Kennett sticking his elbow out, thinking that Manius tried to get hit by that pitch. And the rule is you have to make at least some effort to get out of the way. You can't try to get hit by the pitch. So I guess that's what J.J. Kennett's trying to argue, and the umpire's talking on the infield. And we will go to a review. Let's get another look at this, and I think the Bears might have a case. Manius, it looked like he lowered that elbow a little bit.
Yeah, because if he saw the ball was coming in, he should have stepped off and not continued that swing motion, and looked like it just enough forward to where the ball would have caught it.
Yeah, I think the argument for Purdue is that he is in his swing, and it's obviously very hard to stop your regular swing motion. But then for the Bears, their argument is that, well, that's kind of an odd way to swing. He hasn't really swung like that before. I think both sides could have an argument. So this will have to be a good deliberation from the umpires.
And this seems like, out of all the calls today, the most kind of conflicting call in terms of what do you say. But as we've seen, pretty much all the calls today have gone with what was called on the field. And so I wouldn't be surprised if they stick with what the original call was and stick with the intuition of the umpire.
Yeah, and this is kind of a different nature of a review, right? The rest of them before this have been kind of these bang-bang plays, really close. But this one, we know what happened. It wasn't really a close play or a close call, but it's now you're looking at, okay, well now what was his intent? Did he look like he was really trying to swing, or did he actually just try to drop that elbow and get hit? So it's a little bit of a different nature that there's not a whole lot going on the play, right? He gets hit in the elbow, but now it's, well, can we see what his intent was? And obviously it's an extremely difficult thing to review. I think both sides have a valid argument. And so we'll get our call right here. And they say he leaned in and he's out. So that will end the inning as Manius leans into a pitch, and after a review, he'll be retired. So it's a 1-2-3 inning for the Bears as we head to the top of the 9th inning in a 5-5 ball game. And Greg Goff discussing it with one of the umpires, but Bears looking to take the lead in the final frame. This is Baylor Baseball on the Baylor Lariat Radio. The righty Jake Kramer on to send this game into the bottom of the 9th. His first pitch called a strike to Tice Armstrong, senior out of Greensburg, Pennsylvania. Spent his first 3 seasons of college baseball at Division II California University in Western Pennsylvania as he gets another called strike.
Coming over to Purdue this year, he's had 3 appearances, 3 innings pitched, and allowed 6 runs.
A 93-mile-an-hour fastball misses upstairs. This one is lifted foul by Tice Armstrong. Still fighting for his first hit of the weekend. 0 for 4 today. 2 groundouts and 2 strikeouts.
I mean, this is the time to get that first hit in a moment in the top of the 9th where Baylor needs to take the lead and doesn't want to have to go to extra innings.
Pulls that fastball a little too much outside. A big thrower standing at 6'4", 230 pounds. Here's the 2-2 pitch. This one lifted high into left center field, converging Marlboro and Rogers, but Rogers calls him off and makes the catch for out number 1.
That was another one of those hits where, man, when he initially hit it, it looked like that had potential to go out, but just like one happened previously for Purdue, just slowly died and was not able to get out there. Now, as we talked about, Brady Janusek up to bat, and he's had a lot of talk around the coaching staff about how good he is going to be, and he was in a position yesterday versus Oregon State to be a hero, and now in the same position again.
So he looks at ball 1. 5-5 ball game here in the top of the 9th. Base is empty with 1 out. Infield playing straight up against the righty. That fastball center cut for a strike. Ballpark now covering home plate. Rest of the field is nice and sunny. That one gets the outer third. Called strike 2. So it's a 1-2 count with 1 out. So Brady Janusek 1 for 3. RBI single, as well as a walk and a run in the 5th. This one poked the other way, and it's down into right field, just over the head of C.J. Richmond. And Brady Janusek on board for the 3rd time today.
And C.J. Richmond trying to make another amazing athletic play like he did last inning, but that one just way too far over his head, and now Baylor has a man on base, and Ty Johnson coming out to hit, and it looks like there's a little communication going on here between Jackson Bissett and the umpire.
Johnson drove in a run in the 5th inning as he'll stare at strike 1 on the low and inside corner. Also had a single and a run in the 4th. Now the leading runner on base. Throw back to first, not in time. Janusek has already stolen a base today. He's now 5 for 6 on the season in swiped bags. Here's the pitch. This one a hit high in an awkward spot into foul territory, and Sam Flores crashes into the wall, can't make the catch.
Sam Flores not shaken up after that one, and that one was a little worrying if, I was Purdue earlier, him getting a little injured when Janusek hit him in the leg, but now seems to be fine.
Yeah, it doesn't look as rattled with that play than he did by getting clipped with Janusek's left leg earlier in the ball game. Here's the 0-2 pitch from Kramer. Up and inside. Johnson holds back, and it's 1-2. That one called strike 3, and Ty Johnson not happy with himself as he leaves that at-bat on the table, and there's 2 gone with a runner on here in the top of the 9th.
Yeah, that was a tough one. That was a strike right down the middle that he just was looking at and knew that he could have made at least an attempt at hitting it. And now Baylor with 2 outs.
Another throw back to first. Janusek returns safely. Cade Dodson up to bat. There goes Janusek, swing and a miss from Dodson. The throw, it's a beauty. It nails Brady Janusek at second and will end the inning as Purdue in prime opportunity to win this ballgame with a walk-off as we head to the bottom of the ninth. And we are tied at 5. This is Baylor Baseball on the Baylor Lariat Radio.
Hey Bears, are you always the last to know about what's happening at Baylor? Are you left quiet in a group when talking about last week's game? Well, you haven't gotten your morning buzz yet. Did you know you can get your dose of current Baylor news every Tuesday through Friday straight to your inbox? The Baylor Lariat Morning Buzz e-newsletter provides you with breaking Baylor stories, local events, and in-depth sports coverage daily. You can be in the know on all things Baylor. If you aren't already buzzing, go to BaylorLariat.com. That's BaylorLariat.com and click the subscribe now to get your morning buzz from the Baylor Lariat. News for the students, by the students. We'll see you in your inbox.
We're now in the bottom of the ninth, and we're deadlocked at 5. In day 2 of the Round Rock Classic, a beautiful bunt by Brandon Rogers and no chance for Tice Armstrong to tag him out, and it's a leadoff single. 3 straight singles for Brandon Rogers after starting the season 0 for 10.
Yeah, what a great way to come back for him and really get himself going. And as we said, Brandon Rogers is a great defensive player, and that's really been the only hole in his game is offense. And today, he's really proving his versatility. And while it's been 2 bunts for 2 out of those 3 hits, he's getting on base.
So now it's Quincy Marlborough. He shows bunt, and it's another beauty. This time, R.J. Rouet able to make the toss over to first for the out.
But now Purdue has a runner in scoring position, and you can see their dugout. They're getting excited. Now, Weston Boyle, a guy who, as we talked about earlier this year, went 4 for 4 versus Portland and has done a really great job so far as a freshman and has a chance here to continue that in a big way for Purdue.
And so now here comes Mitch Thompson. We'll make another call to the bullpen. R.J. Rouet is gone. An inning in 2/3, but that'll do it for him, as the Bears will try to hold this at a 5-5 game and send it to extra innings. But we'll be back with our new arm. You're listening to Baylor Baseball on the Baylor Lariat Radio.
Hey there, Bears. Are you living your best life this year at Baylor? Well, we've got great news. The Baylor Roundup Yearbook has been right there with you, capturing those memories at every event. So don't forget to buy your 2022-23 Baylor Roundup Yearbook today and share your memories with friends and family for generations to come. But wait, did you already graduate? Don't worry, we've got you covered. We have yearbooks dating all the way back to 1896. So visit our website today at www.baylor.edu/roundup and order your copy. That's www.baylor.edu/ROUNDUP. Have a great year, Bears, and sick 'em.
Now coming in for Baylor, the righty Grayson Murray. Standing at 6'5", 219, the senior from Tyler, Texas. Making his third appearance on the season. Went 2 innings last Saturday against New Mexico State. Gave up 2 runs on 5 hits in 2 innings, and then gave up no runs on no hits. Struck out 2 in 1 inning of work. Throw over to second, and it's dropped by Pearson Reebok. The Bears had a chance to pick off Brandon Rogers, which could have changed the trajectory of this inning and probably the ending of this game.
Definitely, that would have been 2 outs and no runners in scoring position, but now still only 1 out for Purdue and a runner in scoring position.
Not a great throw by Murray as this one ground ball up the middle, and it finds its way into center field. Rounding third is Rogers, and he will score. Weston Boyle walks it off for the Boilermakers. And after a heartbreak on Friday night, they got walked off by Southern Miss. They return the favor to Baylor and come all the way back. They were down 5-0 and come back to win 6-5 on a walk-off single by Weston Boyle.
And what a job by the freshman, being able to come in this moment and have a great hit and win the game for Purdue. And that was sort of what we talked about at the beginning, is what team was going to be able to make that bounce back from such a hard loss. And now for Baylor, this is tough. Losing on Friday night, losing today, both heartbreaking losses. And now it's going to be tough going into Sunday versus Southern Miss for Baylor.
And so the Bears drop their second straight game here in Round Rock. Bears finish 5 runs on 11 hits and 1 error. They left 9 on base. Purdue 6 runs on 14 hits, no errors, and 7 left on base. As Zach Erdman, he does not get the win. But Roué will get the loss. and Jake Kramer will get the win. And just really not what you wanted to see from Baylor. The offense really went quiet in that second half of the ballgame, and then the bullpen just did not show up.
Yeah, I mean, really, Ethan Calder started off this game so hot for Baylor, and Baylor was doing great hitting, and he was like, oh my gosh, they're back. The hitting is where it used to be. And then suddenly, after that string of runs in the fifth inning, they just went cold and not getting a lot of hits, no runs, and the bullpen ultimately just kind of falling apart. And now Baylor, 2 losses here in their first 2 losses of the season, and really tomorrow's a must-win to try to get the morale back up, or else that's 4 straight wins to begin the year, but once they start to face real competition here at Round Rock, 3 straight losses, that's something that they have to stop and really end this losing streak going into tomorrow.
So the Bears drop to 4-2 on the season, and Purdue improves to 3-3. Bears 0-2 on the weekend. Purdue now 1-1. Bears will be back out tomorrow. First pitch at 3 p.m. Our broadcast will start at 2:45. You can catch that action right here on the Baylor Lariat Radio here on YouTube. Well, that'll do it from us here at Dell Diamond in Round Rock. On day 2 of the Round Rock Classic, Bears losing a heartbreaker. They get walked off by the Purdue Boilermakers 6-5 and lose their second straight of the weekend. But from all of us here at the Baylor Lariat Radio, I'm Jeffrey Cohen. Here alongside me is Aidan O'Connor, and you've been listening to Baylor Baseball on the Baylor Lariat Radio.